Hey, everybody. This is Sean from Gaming and BS, Tabletop RPG Podcast. I am with friends today to play some White Lies, and I am not going to be game mastering. I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to be playing with Wayne, Blake, and Harrigan is our game master. And so thanks for tuning in. This will be fun. I don't know how long we're going to stream for. Harrigan, do you know what you have in mind for time?
I set the slot up for 4 hours, but it's up to us if we go that long. I usually I try to run about 3 hours, but since we're trying to get everything done in one shot, might go a little bit longer. I'll put it that way.
That sounds good. I will leave it to you, man.
Okay. Thank you, Sean. So this is part of the Gaming and BS roundtable, where Sean and Brett have tried to get all of the BSers to start playing a little bit more online with one another, give people an opportunity to play different games, play with different people, all that good stuff. So I think this is the second game in the series that we've gotten off the ground. Is that right, Sean?
Yeah, I think so. There might have been some other that have played, but just not streamed. So, but thank you for stepping up and running. Harrigan has gone on this spreadsheet and listed like 20 games that he's willing to run for members of the community. And so Blake and Wayne and I all kind of stepped up and said, hey, that one sounds cool. We'll play that. And so he's like, okay, sounds good. Saturday, this time, sound good? Yeah, okay. So that's how we got here.
Yep, off and rolling. Not quite 20 games, but too many, especially after you guys see how I do today. You'll be like unsubscribing from all the rest of them.
It's all part of the marketing, Harrigan. There's like 100,000 games on there that Harrigan listed.
There you go. All right. So today we are playing White Lies, which is an espionage game by Bill Logan. It's in kind of the OSR style. So it's kind of a bare bones kind of framework based around D20 and D6 rolls. It's pretty dangerous. So it's the type of espionage where you have to be careful. You have to kind of think about what you're doing. I will say that if I were to run a campaign in this, I would probably lean more into the infiltrator, espionage, sort of social part of it. But since we're doing a one shot, expect some pretty high octane, let's get to it kind of scene cutting and all the rest, right? So it'll be a high action espionage game. At least I hope it will. All right, let me bring up my notes and we'll formally get going here. Maybe we'll do some introductions. Let's do that. So I am Harrigan, longtime role player. I'm a BSer. I do a lot of play-by-post type games, and only in the last couple of years have I tried to get put any effort into getting back into live play. And then COVID-19 actually accelerated all that, where I was kind of tinkering and going to cons and whatnot, trying to find a local group and all the rest. And I managed to get to, I think, 3 or 4 cons before COVID-19 hit. The group I've connected with here in Colorado plays games like crazy, so I've got more games than I could ever want. But I'm also kind of spreading out a little bit here to some of the folks in the BS crowd have similar interests. So I'm trying to get some of those games rolling as well. So that's me. Why don't we go to Blake next?
G'day, I'm Blake. Been playing and running since '89. The last couple of years, mostly been doing online gaming with the Gauntlet group, and then this year I've been playing with other groups as well. And today I'm playing Amelia Marconi, a Confiscator, breaking into burglar, second story gal, whatever you want to call it. All right, I'm gonna handball over to Sean.
Thanks, Blake. So I'm Sean, one of the co-hosts of Gaming and BS, and I'm going to be playing. I've been playing for a while on and off, and expanding my gaming horizons and playing some more different types of games, hopefully in 2021, and White Lies is on the list. So I'm going to be playing an Eliminator by the name of Frank Hammer. And so the Eliminator class is more of a soldier type, more not necessarily always the muscle, but can be more of a weapons heavy type person. And so I will probably be shooting a lot of stuff today. So stay tuned to see how that all pans out. So thanks for having me. Wayne?
Hi, I'm Wayne Peacock. I've been known as a BSer long before I found out about gaming and BS. But I'm relatively new to the community. I've been playing games like since '79. And yeah, I love games, as you can see. And I'm playing Emanuel Bardem. Despite the name, I do not have a pneumatic cattle killer. but who knows? May find one in the game. But he is an investigator, so good at perceiving things and interrogating and computers, and has informants and has the fewest hit points. So we'll be finding out about that too.
There you go. All right. Thank you, everybody, for going around the table here. So we'll do just a little brief breakdown of what we're trying to get accomplished in this session, and then we'll get launched and play. So I like to use the CATS sort of way of breaking down the game, which is the concept, aim, tone, and subject matter. I know the Gauntlet community uses that, Blake, and a number of others do as well. At least some of them do. So the really the concept today is, it's modern day espionage. It's relatively grounded, so it's more like, say, Bourne or The American, if you know that movie, than it is, say, some of the 70s Bond movies, which are a little more silly and that sort of thing, and it's not quite so high flying as some stuff, but it'll still be high octane, hopefully. In terms of the concept, you are operatives working for a secret agency known as Bureau 19, and that's the default setting in the White Lies book. And it's really kind of set up as people who do bad things for good reasons. So it's even more off book than the CIA, even more off book than MI6 and that sort of thing, right? So the aim today is to pick a pre-generated character. You've done that. Let's play a single mission. Hopefully we'll get that accomplished in the next few hours. And then we'll all learn whether or not we like this game or not, because I've never run this game before. So it'll be a new thing for all of us. So for those watching, apologies if we've got some moments where we have to stop and sort of all think about how the mechanics work and that sort of thing. It's pretty simple, but it'll happen. In terms of the tone, I think I've already kind of covered that, but really kind of action-packed espionage, a little ratcheted up just because we're trying to get things moving today and kind of keep things flowing. Subject matter, covert action, high stakes, chases, fights, seduction, stealth, intrigue, all that kind of stuff, right? In terms of safety tools, I've always got the S card in my games. It's always kind of an open table affair where if there's content that you're not comfortable with, we can stop the game. You can step away. You don't need to explain why or anything like that. If you need to take a break, you can do that, etc. So I'm pretty fast and loose with that stuff in terms of, let's just have adult discussions about it. We don't have to, we don't have to treat it in any kind of golden chalice kind of way. Let's just talk about stuff as it occurs if we need to. Having said that, let's talk about lines and veils a little bit. I'm very much a veils kind of guy in terms of stuff I'd rather have off screen than on screen. And for those who don't know that process, a line is a line we won't cross in the game. So it's content we will not include in the game at all. So typically, including for myself, includes things like child abuse, sexual assault, those sorts of things. We're not going to have any of that in the game. Think of this as sort of a game that's PG-13 teetering towards R, depending on the level of violence that's on the screen. It's that kind of situation. But for veils, I don't think we need to see gratuitous torture or those sorts of things. But I will say that, I do like gritty gaming a lot. So a lot of adult content is sort of in my wheelhouse. But in many cases, I'll just sort of try to keep it to the wings a little bit. So it's a thing. It can be a threat, but we're not gonna dwell on it and be gross about it. Let's put it that way. What about the rest of you in terms of either other safety tools or else that you've got? What should we put on the table?
Well, I think
my two, I just see violence against kids and sexual violence. So you've already covered it. So
yeah, I would say the same thing.
Sean?
I would say the same thing. The high level stuff. It's not that type of game I'd prefer to play. Violence. I mean, probably I'm going to probably shoot up a lot of stuff. We'll see. Maybe a Tarantino level. I don't know if that makes people uncomfortable. Just feel free to say, but other than that, I don't see anything getting too out of hand for me.
Wayne?
I think what you proposed is good. I'm good with that.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see. You guys are going to drive part of the game here, and we'll see. Torture is one of those ones in an espionage game that can be funky, where it's a thing, right, in an espionage game. So I think as long as we're not kind of weird about dwelling on teeth extraction and that sort of thing, then we'll be okay. We can see the pliers, we can hear the screams. We don't need close-ups, right? Okay. Cool. We're going to go, hopefully we'll get this done in 3.5 hours. We can go as long as 4 if we want to make sure that we get the game sort of to a place where we're all happy, completing the one shot, and we'll take breaks as we need to. I expect, somewhere between a couple of breaks, between 1 and 3 breaks or something like that. So, Sean, you'll throw the screen up and do what we need to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any questions about any of that? Otherwise, I'll go into a very short rule summary here.
Oh, good.
Okay, cool. All right. So for those who know Swords and Wizardry and know that there is a trimmed down version of Swords and Wizardry called White Box. That's what this game is based on, which is why it's called White Lies. All of the skill checks, all of these sort of action checks that are not combat and that are not saves are with a D6. So you're typically trying to get like a 4 and 6 chance, 5 and 6 chance, 1 and 6 chance, that sort of thing when you're trying to accomplish like stealth, influencing people, hacking a computer, all those sorts of things. So each class in this game has different bonuses that are applied to those sort of, high level actions, right? Good at hacking, good at driving, that kind of thing. Generally, it's kind of a +1 that you'll apply to the die because you're trying to beat a number. For the most part, you're going to roll a D6, and I'm going to say beat a 4, beat a 5, beat a 6. Obviously beating a 6 at 6 or higher, that's pretty tough. So the default is a 4. Combat runs like many D20 games where there's an armor class you're trying to hit. You're rolling a D20. You're adding a stat modifier, which in this game is typically either a +1 or a +2. And I think for all these characters, the best you've got is a +1. One of the things about the white box games is that those modifiers are kept quite reasonable, quite low. So a 2 is where it tops out. And then the saves, each character class in White Lies has a single save. So you'll see on your character sheet that there's one number you're trying to beat. But what you'll do with that is if it's like a dive for cover type save, you'll add your dexterity bonus if you have one. So you'll roll your D20, and if you have a +1, you'll add your +1. There's lots of other situational modifiers. It is OSR, so it's very much rulings over rules. You'll hear me asking for die of fate rolls from time to time just to understand, do things go well or do things go poorly, that kind of thing. We're going to use the ascending armor class rules because I'm not a masochist. And in terms of house rules, I have tuned one thing. I didn't want to do first level characters because they're so fragile in these games, and I think within the sort of the aspect of White Lies, what they represent is brand new green agents who are just into the field, right? I wanted you guys to have more sort of staying power, more expertise. So they're a series of a group of 5th level characters, still pretty fragile. I'll note, they don't have a lot of hit points necessarily. But what is interesting is that the skill bonuses start to pile up as you become a better agent, and they pile up so much that I don't know if I'd call it broken, but I'm going to tune it a little bit. So at 5th level, you're supposed to have a +2 to most of your expertise areas, but if you combine that with your stat, it means you don't fail a 4 and 6 chance ever, right? So I tuned it down 1. So you've got a +1 from your at your skill type scenario, and +1 from your attributes. You'll see equipment kits on your character sheets. Those are basically meant to be sort of generic, gear that you can let us know what you have in the moment. You can look in the book if you want to see. I think I listed some page references for that stuff. You can look in the book if you want to see what's in a medical kit, what's in a demolitions kit, that kind of thing, right? That's largely it. There's some fiddly little combat things where you do in fact add your strength bonus to any melee or unarmed combat attacks. And the range bands, if you see the range bands on your weapons, every range band you go out from the one that's listed is a -2 to hit. So if the range is listed at 50, from 50 to 100, it's -2. From 100 to 150, it's -4, that kind of thing. I'll probably forget half of that stuff as well, so you'll want to remind me. All right, that's enough preamble. What can I answer for you guys before we launch into this about your characters? Are you looking at the sheets, and do you see anything that you want to ask questions about on there?
I just want to point out, I don't have any questions on my sheet, but I just wanted to point out to the other guys in case they didn't see it, at the bottom of there's the background. So there's a bit of dynamics.
Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough.
For some of us, right? And what you might think of the other individuals. So.
Yep. Yep. So what I'm going to do, Sean, is actually as we introduce the first scene, I'm going to get each of you to cover that background piece a little bit in your opening sort of preamble or your opening setup. And if you want to change some things, and I see that Sean has gone ahead and renamed where he needs to rename the character. That's kind of cool. Good work, man. Appreciate that. Okay, so you all work then. No other comments, Wayne, Ryan, or Blake. You're both okay. I bet you get that all the time. Having two
in
first
general,
names.
we're just trying to roll high, basically.
Saving throws, you're trying to roll high. Yes, it's roll high across the board, and it's basically D20.
I like that.
Yep, and it's D20 for when the shit is hitting the fan. Either you're in combat or you're trying to prevent harm to yourself, and it's a D6 when you're trying to be good at something. Right? Is the bottom line.
Okay.
And I'll try to make sure this runs sort of OSR style where you are effective agents. I'm not going to ask you for rolls for things that you can, that a highly trained agent can do. All right. So having said that, so Bureau 19 has recently been reactivated. So this is the American government clandestine spy agency that is now back in operation because the CIA, MI6, and others have been infiltrated by an enemy organization known as the Cabal. So, as an aside, the Cabal is sort of the default. It's Spectre basically in the White Lies book. So it's a mysterious organization that you actually don't know much about. So it's very much a sort of thing where it's a network all across the world. There's many different groups who are part of it. It's hard to understand their motives sometimes, but they definitely work behind the scenes to sort of shape the world events in their favor. I'll put it that way. So on that note, we begin the game on a bright and sunny afternoon. It's summer. It's modern day. And we're in Prague in the Czech Republic. So if you know what pictures of Prague look like, lots of beautiful stone architecture, bridges, churches, and all the rest. So the three of you, Amelia, Frank, and Emanuel, are a cell that works for Bureau 19. And you're in town to meet with someone. There's a man. I better go to my notes here so I get the names right here. Known as Dr. Charles Branson. So Branson set up a meet with you because he has information he wants to convey. This has come via the U.S. Embassy, which went to the CIA, which has come to Bureau 19 because of the leaks that people are worried about inside the CIA right now. So there's either a drop that he's going to make, or he's got information to tell you. You're not sure which. Let me ask you this before we start. Where would you set up the meeting in Prague? Where would you tell him to meet you in this bustling European city?
How about a cafe at, like in a central square or something like that? So we have a wide field of vision, and we could scout it ahead of time and not be seen as easily.
Okay. Blake and Sean, you're both okay with that?
Yep, set up someone across the street. I'm thinking Frank would probably be the good one for that.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll get to where your positions are in just a second. I just want a thumbs up right now.
The cafe is fine. Yeah.
Thumbs up. Okay. Classic setup, Wayne. So our camera pans in. It's post-COVID, so no one has masks on. People are mingling. They're buying pastries. They're going to get
their science fiction game.
They're shopping. It's wonderful.
This is real fantasy.
That's right. There's this street that is nothing but sidewalk cafes, right? So there's a way for cars to pass, but it's mostly foot traffic on the street. It's a busy afternoon. So I am going to ask you to each introduce yourselves. So let's start with Amelia, with Blake, and tell us a little bit about your character, what you look like, and if you want to touch on the background piece at the bottom of your character sheet, you can. And then the last piece I'd like is, where are you in this scene?
She's Caucasian female, shoulder length, sort of dark wavy hair with a light tan. She's in a nice dress, sitting at the cafe, sipping some tea. I'm going to say it's a warm day, unless someone contradicts me. So it's a nice day, and she's sort of happy. She knows someone's got her 6 and watching her ass in case things go bad. And
Okay.
she'll have a comms, whatever you call it, the technical term is,
Yep.
earpiece, so the others can hear what she says.
In the operative kit that you all have, if you look at what that contains, and it contains your comms and all that kind of stuff, right? So you are all wired up, certainly. All right. So you are meant, Amelia, to be the contact who meets with the doctor, right? That's the arrangement that's been made. Sean, tell us about Frank, who he is, what he looks like, and what he's where he is in this scene.
Frank resembles a young Kirk Douglas, kind of muscular, cleft, dimple in the chin, kind of very focused, narrow eyes, thin, nice hair, I guess, on top. And it being the muscle, he's got a pretty decent, physically fit physique. And he is, hopefully Prague, he's managed to smuggle in a couple things to include his VP9 pistol that he puts under his jacket. And he's probably standing across the street with a clear view of Amelia in anticipation of Dr. Charles Branson.
Branson.
Yeah, trying to look nondescript but at the same time, pretty focused in on what's going on, ensuring and also overseeing Emanuel and being able to have vision to kind of both angles. But probably at another cafe, hopefully at a higher table to get kind of over any passersby that might obstruct his view.
Are you actually on like a second story, like a rooftop terrace overlooking the street?
If there's one available and that would be a vantage point, then I would absolutely look at that as an option.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's not quite a bird's eye view, but you have a great view of where Amelia is sitting at the table with her legs crossed, having her, was it tea or coffee, Blake, that she's having?
You're muted, Blake.
It's a little Turkish coffee.
Coffee.
Yep.
Got it. Little delicate white cup. All right. Okay, so you're set up, Frank, and you heard Frank mention his pistol. All of you certainly can be armed. You will note on the character sheet, for those watching, these are pre-gens that I whipped up in a fury last night before these guys played. There's a heavier weapon each of you have and a vest. We're going to leave those for like scenes where it would make sense for you to have those, right? Where you're prepping, you're loading for bear, you're pulling an Arnold from Commando or Raw Deal in the 80s, and you're getting ready to rock and roll, right?
Yeah, I usually don't take that to the cafe. Correct.
Okay. So Wayne, tell us about Emanuel, the former investigative reporter turned, secret agent, basically. But tell us what he's doing, what he looks like, and where he is in this scene.
So he's dark, has kind of dark skin and very short cropped hair. Probably went to a local shop to have his hair done just to kind of more blend in. He speaks the language, so he's sitting at the table. He's got a couple of books that are they're obviously like local books, and he's got like a small laptop, and this is one of his work laptops. So it has it's got a webcam that actually points outward, and he's got that pointed at Amelia, but he's very pointedly not looking at her. He's looking at the screen so he can keep tabs on her. And he's kind of facing towards wherever Frank is set up, but again, he's not looking at that. But just so he can keep tabs on what is actually going on while looking like he's just getting some getting some work done.
Got it. So you're at a different table, but nearby.
Yes, but nearby.
Okay, got it. All right. Last thing I want to do then. Let's at least let each other know what you think of one another. So in that bottom section on your character sheet, it does talk a little bit about how you feel about the other members of the team. You can ignore Harlan and Sophia since they're not here, right? They're no-shows, bastards. Let's go back in reverse order here, Wayne. So if you check the bottom, just give us a quick preview of sort of what Emanuel thinks of his teammates.
So Amelia is too innocent for this game. I'm going to say that, and the reason that he thinks that is that he was Emanuel was a foreign correspondent, and he was like doing like investigating human trafficking when he actually came across Cabal, and that's how he kind of got sucked into the agency. So he's just seen a lot of rough things.
Yeah,
so that's kind of right.
Got it.
And Frank is solid, but not the brightest bulb.
Frank, why don't you tell us what you think of that, Frank, of these two?
So yeah, some former special forces, right? So that's where my head's usually at. I love the outdoors more than people, hence my 7 charisma. So I'm a little rough around the edges, personality wise, but I'm cool under fire. Amelia is obviously out of her depth. It makes me a little nervous, a little anxious. So I'm anything that happens near or over by her, I kind of tense up a little bit. I do appreciate Emanuel's determination. So he's not a bad guy, and he's got some pretty decent focus. And so, as a former soldier, I can respect that.
Got it. Amelia, former jewel thief, so kind of new to the world of law enforcement, espionage, and all the rest, right? What do you think of these two?
Well, Frank's reliable. He's got my back. He can help get me out of this shit if things go pear-shaped. Emanuel's very focused. He desperately needs it. We need to get him drunk and figure out what else is going on up there. It's just, a bit too focused. He needs to relax.
Very good. All right. What has Amelia done at her table that will attract Dr. Branson? How will he know that you are the contact?
She's reading a book with a red cover, and she's kind of reading it with it covered down and then putting it up occasionally, and just every now and then, as if she's sort of engrossed in this book.
Okay, got it. So sure enough, that appears to work and attract someone who sees you sitting there making this relatively subtle gesture where you're lifting your book and then lowering it. Frank, you can pretty immediately see someone winding their way through the tables, heading for her table, and Emanuel, same thing. So this is a middle-aged man, tall, receding hairline, has round spectacles on, and he walks up to your table, Amelia, pulls up a chair and says, "Is this seat taken?"
No, please have a seat, and give him flick my hair, give him a smile.
Okay. He sits. Waitress appears almost instantly. He places an order for a coffee, and then leans forward and says, "I trust you're here to meet with Dr. Charles Branson." There's quite a bit of hubbub in here, so it's easy for your conversation to get lost.
I'll sort of nod and smile as if we've started. We're familiar, and say, "Yes, you're not Charles."
I am at that. I am indeed. I work for a multinational corporation that the GM forgets the name of, and he has to look up.
That's fine. He tells us the name. That's fine.
Kiskatek. No, it matters. It matters. I work for a corporation called Kiskatek, and I've got some grave concerns about what's being manufactured in this place. I'm on loan from a different company in the UK, my country of origin, and there are dealings that I'm not. He chokes a little bit and says, "Excuse me."
So, I'll sort of gesture towards his drink to, just relax, and I'll sip mine. And
coffee arrives. He lifts it up and he drinks it. And you can see his hand shake a little bit. He kind of puts the coffee cup back down and he goes, excuse me, something in my throat. A little bit of more froth kind of spits out of his mouth onto the table, and he starts to shudder a little bit and convulse, and he falls onto the floor.
Oh, yeah, I'll get up and sort of slap him on the back and help him spit it out or whatever.
I'm gonna call Hammer Frank and say, Frank, follow the waiter. I'm assuming he has a better field view than I do. Sorry. Go.
Say again, Wayne. You're going to call Frank and say,
follow the waiter who gave him the coffee. Just I
could see him. He's
I mean, like track him, not run after him. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking he can see him better than I can.
I don't know if I can keep track of him when he goes into the cafe. Emanuel, what's going on?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So Amelia is.
What's going on? Manuel.
Branson, I think, just bit it.
Oh, wonderful.
Got poisoned.
I'd start to make my way down Harrigan.
Okay.
I throw some money on the table and put the napkin on the table and start making my way down pretty quickly.
Okay. So you guys are fast to act. Frank is on the move as Amelia gets up. Amelia, you get right to your contact's side, and treating him with first aid is difficult to keep him from dying on the spot here. So this is an action check. So pick yourself up a D6, but I need a 6 for you to keep him from dying.
Wow.
2.
All right. So you
off to a great start.
Yes.
You work for a moment. It's difficult because he's convulsing, he's twitching. There's froth flying out of his mouth. You're trying to make sure his tongue is not, blocking his airway. You've all had some, level of first aid training type of thing. Emmanuel, what are you doing while Amelia is trying to apply first aid and save the man's life?
I'm going to try to find it. Okay, so did the waiter walk back in the restaurant?
They did quickly.
I'm going immediately after the waiter, and I'm just and I'm just going to say I'm on the waiter and grab my laptop and just because I don't want to leave it here and walk off after him.
Okay, so it's a waitress. And so you snap your laptop closed. Frank, you're heading down the stairs to the street, right? Quickly.
Yes.
And what you see is these are European waiters and waitresses, so they're all dressed in black. And this waitress is hanging up her apron and heading right through the kitchen door like she's on a mission, like she's moving. If you want to try to keep up with her, you're going to have to give me an action check because she looks like she's about, when she gets out of sight, she's about to bolt.
Oh, will do.
I need a 5 on this die, but remember to look. This would be a dexterity check, right? So add a dexterity bonus if you have one, and make sure you check your class features, your skill training, to see if there's something that might help in there as well.
It's perception, interrogation, and computer. So,
nope.
If I perceive her and throw my computer at her, do I get a plus? Kidding. It's a 6.
Look at you. I believe you. It's all good.
Look.
Are you trying to trail this woman or catch her?
I'm actually more interested in trailing her, first. If it looks like she is, like going to get in the car, I'm going to try to grab her. But
okay, I'll describe what you see then. So you basically blow past the maitre d' station. They're kind of like, sir, and you're back behind the coffee bar. You're into the kitchen, right? Just flowing right after her. And you see that there's a back door to this place opening to a classic tightly knit sort of European alley. So she is heading down the steps, and you see a black sedan outside with the door open, and you can tell that she's about to jump right in.
I'm going to definitely try to grab her then.
Okay. All right. So as you run up to her, you're going to catch her just as she gets to the door type of thing, right? So I'd like a roll for initiative here. She's thrown an eye over her shoulder. She knows from the other staff kind of exclaiming as you rush past that she's being pursued. So initiative in this game is it's a D6, and I actually want Amelia and Frank to roll as well, so we can kind of chain all this together. Basically, roll a D6 and add your dexterity bonus.
3.
Okay.
Well, I'm rounding things out. 1.
Okay. So Amelia's a 3. What about Frank?
2.
Frank is a 2. Okay. So you'll love this. And Manuel, sorry, you got a 1 or a 2?
A 1.
A 1. So this is kind of cool. You are tied with this woman, and in this game, the actions are simultaneous on a tie. So in other words, it's one of those games where you can kill each other. You can both grab the same thing at the same time. It's that sort of affair. So basically what happens is you grab her, or you're attempting to grab her as she's getting in, right? So we'll do that in a moment. So Amelia, you've seen Emanuel rush off. There's some commotion in the restaurant now as a chase has kind of erupted. You sit back on your haunches. Unfortunately, Dr. Branson's just passed away. He's just
all right. I'm going to say he's got to have an EpiPen, and he's diabetic, and I'm searching through his pockets.
Okay. So you're going to rifle through his stuff.
Sweet.
Gotcha. All right. So
you say, someone call an ambulance. It's like, I'm still trying to help him. He's got to have an EpiPen in there somewhere. Someone call,
Yep. No EpiPen. You find his wallet. You find his phone, and you find a security badge for Kiskatek, the company that he said he worked for.
All those go in my pockets quickly while I'm still, he's got to have one here somewhere.
All right. Frank, roll me a D6. Tell me what you get. Roll high.
2.
A 2?
Today's stream brought to you by the number 2.
and here we thought a D6 was better than a D20.
I'm holding out hope.
As you get to the ground floor of the cafe you were in, as luck would have it, there's a flow of traffic now in front of you. So if you're going to want to try to bolt across and join the action, you're going to have to give me an action check to avoid being bumped, hit, or otherwise inconvenienced by these little, Fiats and Renaults and all the other cars in the Czech Republic.
I'm going to try to assess from the cafe and where Amelia is to see if there's anything else going on in the street, suspicious cars, getaway vehicles. Looking for the black vehicle from Bardem's vantage point to squeal out of a corner, and I could start running down the street after it.
Gotcha.
Would his tactics help with that? His tactics skill?
It would. Yeah, give me a standard. So I beat a 4 with tactics. So add and then this is Sean. This is also wisdom if you have that. Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, I've rolled a 4 naturally.
All right. So from your vantage, you've got a little bit of traffic in front of you, but you can see the cafe across the street is, basically the waitress and Bardem have both gone straight into it deeper, right? So they're going to, you think, emerge on the other side, something like that. Unless there's some kind of interconnecting passages you can't see. But as you do the scan of the whole street, sure enough, there's an alley on the left-hand side that, looks like it goes back in behind this cafe is a row of many businesses together, right? It's a single building, but there's a lot of stuff together. But you can spot the alley, and near the alley, you see 2 people on motorcycles, and they look like they're sort of primed and ready. So there's 2 guys on bikes sitting there. So what's your, that's kind of the first half of, you can move from here. Do you move down the street? What do you do?
Yeah, I go towards the guys in the motorcycles.
Okay. So you're heading down that way. Now, what's his last name again?
Branson.
Emanuel. I named the damn guy.
Branson.
Bardem. Yeah, Emanuel. So Emanuel, what is your objective here? To grapple with this woman as she's getting into the car? Are you going to try to strike her? Are you going to try to trip her? What are you going to do? It's a combat roll of some kind.
Right. I'm going to try to get her on the ground. I want to interrogate her eventually. So I'm not trying to like.
Yep.
Not throat punching or anything. So
got it. All right. So you reach her as that door is open. It's the back door to this black, Audi A8 sedan. And you're going to try to grab her wrist and her shoulder and, muscle her to the ground, basically. When you reach out to do that, she's going to try and take your hand and break it. So, basically as you're reaching
how
out.
rude.
Yeah, she is rude. She is. So you can see, by the way, so she's dressed as a waitress. So she's in this, black skirt, white blouse kind of, or dark blouse, I should say, kind of affair, in heels. But she's moving like she knows what she's doing. She has short, dark hair. She's pretty. She has a slash of bright red lipstick, but she looks like she means business. So I want you to give me a combat roll with strength, and her armor class is 11. At the same time, I'm going to look at your armor class, which
So you still have those other characters you could unhide, right? Okay. I rolled a 10. I have a base attack bonus of +2. So is that a 12?
Yep. So
Okay.
I'm sorry. That's one thing we didn't cover is the base attack bonus goes on basically any kind of combat roll, whether it's ranged or whatever, right? It's tied to your level. So you got a 12, you succeeded. So you're gonna grab this woman and you're gonna be able to try to pin her. At the same time, however, your armor class is 10 when you don't have your vest on, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. Yes, I have no dex bonus.
Okay. So let's go ahead and you grab her. There's a scuffle. She does take your fingers and bend them as you start to sort of, try to muscle her. It hurts. You lose a hit point. So she cracks a couple of fingers back. But now I need a strength check from you. It's an opposed roll. Whoever rolls higher to see if you can actually pin her to the ground or not. So roll a D6 and add your strength bonus.
Oh, D6. Okay.
Yep.
4.
All right. So the two of you are wrestling. You did not beat her, but you've got a hold of her. So you're grappling together. So let's go back up to Amelia at the top of the round. You've filled your pockets. You can glance and see Frank is moving down the street to your right based on where you are. But what's your plan, Amelia?
I think I'm going to head for the prearranged meeting place because I need to get out of here. If anyone looks concerned, I'll just say, stay for the ambulance. I'm going to look for an EpiPen and I'm going to just get the hell out of there.
Okay. Let's say down the street there's a beautiful stone bridge that crosses, a canal. So you're heading for that as your meeting place.
It's a good place to get shot.
Is out in the open.
Hey,
Frank,
Harrigan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can we talk? I mean, do I have to press a mic to actually talk?
You tell me. Certainly, you are all hooked up comms wise. You've already talked to Frank. I don't care if you want to. If you want to make it sort of voice activated, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or if you want to sign up, you can
because
talk.
I knew you were listening. So
Yeah, you can talk.
Right. I will say it's open comms. I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna say, waitress, is obvious. Sorry.
Bardem, are you okay? Bardem.
I imagine I make some really manly screams as she bends my fingers back. Holy shit!
Bardem, everything under control, it sounds like. I'm heading to the two motorcyclists.
I'll say, trying to prevent this woman from getting in a car.
You probably hear all that mic noise that you normally hate, Sean. All that kind of, yeah, exactly. As he's wrestling with her. So Frank, what are you doing?
I'm going towards the two motorcyclists. Now, when you talk about the two cyclists, are they just they look like average guys on the corner cyclists, or hey, they're all dressed in black and look like bad guy cyclists?
These are two guys in dark pants, leather jackets, who have black motorcycle helmets on their heads, and who are both glancing back into the alley, like they're waiting for something.
Perfect.
And you can, if you use your entire turn here, you can kind of get either up to them or within close enough, range that you can either talk to them or you can take a swing or whatever you're intending. Is that what you're going to do? Is get that close? You're going to cross the street as well?
I am going to cross.
Right now, you're across.
I'm going to cross the street so that I am actually looking down the alley past the cyclists and viewing kind of where they are looking as well. And then I will assess what's going on, and then I'll either go across the street and confront motorcyclists 1 and 2, or maybe hang tight until a vehicle comes out of that alley.
Are you doing that in a way that your emphasis is speed, or are you trying to keep a low profile as well?
I think at this point I'm probably looking like that guy that's a little frantic, even though I'm calm and cool. But it's obvious that I'm not overly, trying to be discreet necessarily. There's too much adrenaline going on.
So let's do an act.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the street, so you don't stand out even if you hustle. So roll me an action check, add your dex, and anything that is about sort of movement or getting into position. And you're trying to beat a 4.
Oh shit! Wrong die. I got a 5.
Okay, so at the sort of the tail end of your turn, your angle is shifting as you look further down the alley, and sure enough, the 2 cyclists, you see 2 people scuffling in an alley next to a sedan. So the sedan's headlights are on, the engine is clearly running. You can see a guy inside. In fact, you can see more than one person. You can see a person on the passenger side as well. And the person on the passenger side looks to be about to get out. You see that door swing open, and someone is about to get out of the car. And it's Emanuel, who's wrestling with a waitress.
So at that point, I start to boogie across the street, and I do get the motorcyclist's attention, like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" And then I proceed to probably take them out.
Okay, that'll be next turn.
Okay,
got it. So you slip across the street. So Emanuel, the 2 of you are wrestling. She's going to try to break. Her action is she's going to try to break this grapple, right? So she's basically just going for a strength check. What are you going to do at the same time that your actions are simultaneous?
So we're kind of wrestling around there, right?
You're right at the entrance to the car, and let me give you a little more framing on this. So she's swearing at you in Czechoslovakian, right? in Czech. I shouldn't say Czechoslovakian. I'm dating myself back from when it was a
me
thing.
Too.
She's not Slovak. She's Czech.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of "get off me, let me go" kind of shoving, and inside the car you see 2 burly looking dudes who are like, "What's going on?" And one of them is about to, he's the passenger that Frank saw, who's about to get out. So she's trying to basically break your grip and slip into the car. What are you trying to do at the same time?
Okay, I'm going to try to do something, well, quite possibly stupid, but I am actually just going to kick the door closed to the car. Just so that she can't get in the car easily at this point. And also because I'm worried that someone might shoot me from inside the car. So does that make sense?
It does. I want to make sure that we're all picturing the same thing. You are about to she's trying to get into the rear left door of the car, right?
Okay.
And on the passenger side is where a door is opening up on the driver, on the front seat. Passenger side's about to open. Driver's staying put. So you're trying to close the rear passenger door on the left, right?
Yeah, because if I stand up, the guy will have a better shot at me. If I don't close the door, if I close the door, she can't just jump in.
That's correct.
Was my thought.
That's correct.
And I'm going to be I speak Czech. I'm going to be identifying myself as a police officer just to see if I could get them, if I could raise the stakes for them at all. And so I'll be saying I'm a metropolitan police officer, which is their local police.
Yep.
And right. Okay.
Well, as soon as you say that, the guy in the passenger side is getting out, goes, "Shit, undercover!" But he says it in Czech, obviously.
Right.
But they immediately believe you. But let's do this. Let's do her strength check first.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a +1 for sort of. So we'll just do the one roll, but I'm going to give you a +1 for trying to prevent her from getting away. So sure. D6 plus your strength.
That's easy. All right. So I rolled a 3. So with my +1, it's a 4.
Okay. So it's a
plus
tie.
one you gave me. Right.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
right.
It's another tie. So what happens is she drags you. You try to close the door, but she uses her foot to hook it, and she keeps the door. So the two of you are just in this melee back and forth. But she's dragging you towards the car. So she kind of now has her back and her butt up against the back of the car, and you're kind of wrestling, trying to get her to the ground, kind of thing. The other guy's getting out now, and they appear to be more concerned than they were before because you've identified yourself as a cop.
Okay. So,
all right.
I'm going to be remembering all those times Frank told me, hey, would you like to spar? And I'm like, nah.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm conscious. I think we'll check the rules on a break here, but I think we're actually supposed to re-roll initiative every round. But I'm just going to let this one flow with the same order, just because we've been doing that. So Amelia, you're beating feet towards the bridge. Is that right? Anything special you want to try to accomplish? Are you trying to get lost in the crowd or anything? Or you looking through the guy's materials? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll have a quick look through his stuff while I'm sort of mingling, because I'm expecting to be followed. So it's like,
yep.
Yeah, I've gone in pretty much a straight line. So it's like, I'm still going to look at his stuff. It's like, come at me.
Got it. Okay, so it's a security badge that is, it's got RFID in it, type of thing. It's the sort of thing that would let you gain access to a secure facility. His phone is locked, so his phone would take some kind of cracking for you to get into it. And let me take just a quick divergence here. One thing I didn't talk about at the top of the session. You'll see on your sheets, each of you have Gadget 1 and Gadget 2. These are dynamic things that you can just drop into the game when you decide, I've got a thing, right? And White Lies has this rule where the more outlandish it is, the less likely it is that it works, or that it works the way that you intend it to. So if you want a cigarette rocket launcher that can take out a tank, that's pretty outlandish. You're going to roll a d6, and like on a 6, it will work. Otherwise, it malfunctions. It doesn't work. If you tell me that you want to have, a bug, which is a normal piece of spy gear, you roll, and if you get like a 2 or better, the bug works. So the more outlandish the gear, the harder it is for you to get it to work the way you want. So Blake,
what if it was like a phone unlocker decryptor, for example? That would be a handy gadget.
This is why I bring it up. So you each have 2 of these for this session. So you'll have it thereafter, right? But they're kind of one-shot sort of affairs, I think, is the way I want to look at them, right? So
that's cool.
All right. So
really
Blake,
cool.
tell us about what comes out of Amelia's pocket and what it looks like as you try to crack the phone.
It's shaped a lot like a phone cover, and you kind of put the phone in it, and it'll take some time to crack it, but at least I've started that process. Maybe it's 15 minutes or something.
Got it. Let's do this. So that sounds reasonably outlandish. So let's go with a 50-50. Let's go with, if you can get me a 4 or above on a d6, this will work the way you want to in a timely fashion. Otherwise, it will take it longer for it to.
I got a 6, which means I've probably got to fail every other roll.
There you go. So we see the little progress bars, there's an overlay that appears on the phone, like superimposed on the guy's,
it's like a spy, but it's sort of running in slow-mo. This is progress across the screen.
There you go. So shortly, the phone will be cracked and you'll have access. Frank, you have just gotten the attention of the 2 motorcyclists who both turn towards you. And as soon as give them any kind of hand signal, is that right? Frank doesn't know check.
I kind of, right, I don't. And so I'm holding up one arm and going into my breast holster, or my shoulder holster, to pull out my pistol. So where is the train station? Wo ist der Bahnhof? And then I pull out my pistol and try to cap both of them. Boom, boom.
Oh, you're going to try to shoot both of them?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot both of them. Actually, I shoot one and then I just look at the other one.
All right. So this is a situation where you could have, you could use a gadget to have a silencer as well, right?
That'll work.
You could do that.
I will choose silencer, sir.
Okay. So we'll get you to roll. That's a real world thing. It's easy for a spy to have. So roll a d6 and just don't get a 1, and your silencer will work as intended here.
Roll the 3, sir.
All right. Okay, so you're trying to take out one of them, and if you look at your VP9 pistol, Sean, you actually has an ROF of 2, right? But this is where the game gets kind of obscene for the eliminator, because the eliminator gets extra actions based on what level they are and the level of their opponents, right? So you can shoot this guy like 6 times if you want to. So because these are level 1 goons, right?
Right.
So let's see how many rounds it takes to drop the guy. Their armor class is 10, right? So give me your. So this is a dex roll. I think that's the only thing you add, right?
Yeah, I believe so. On a missile.
Yep. So try to beat a 10.
An 8. I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, so first round goes awry.
Next one is a 16.
So for your 16, stop there. Roll a d6 damage.
3 points of damage plus
all right.
3. Yep.
So describe how your first shot misses and your second shot kills one of the bikers.
The first shot, I say hey, and then it just brushes my wrist just briefly enough to take it off target, and it hits the concrete building behind him. And then the second one, I bring it back and hit him right in the. He's wearing a helmet, probably right in the chest.
Yep. All right. He drops. So his bike is idling, but this is a quick pew pew.
Yeah.
There's a flash behind him, but the other guy drops, or the one guy drops. The other guy's just like, like what the hell? This guy's just been. What? So you do have other rounds here that you could fire if you wanted to, or you can sort of try to. What are you trying to do? Get the guy's you got his attention. Put it that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. I'll wave the other guy, or I'm gonna shoot the other guy. I'll just shoot him. Boop boop. Pew, pew.
Okay, so you got 4 chances to kill this guy.
It's
or shoot him at least.
An 18, so the first one hits.
Roll a d6.
2 points of damage.
Okay, you winging this guy in the shoulder. So very rapid fashion. One guy is dropped. The other guy is shot, and he's sort of half on his bike, half off. Keep shooting.
Missed.
Okay.
Missed.
Last one, I think, right?
11. I hit.
That's one.
The last one.
Okay. All right. Describe how this guy. You don't have to roll damage. He's only got 1 left. So describe how you put this guy down after he staggers from the first shot.
So I'm obviously got like 3 things going on in my brain. I got this guy that didn't go down, and then I've got the stuff going down in the alley, and then I've got the motorcycles running that I'm trying to kind of encroach on. So with him, I'm obviously like trying to shoot him, not looking directly down the barrel of the gun, miss.
Yep.
Shoot again where I think he is just by muscle memory, miss again. And then I get ticked off realizing that I've missed him twice. So then I just take out both hands, look at him, and then shoot him at the last time, like with kind of a bit of frustration on his face. Like, and then I look at my gun, like put it back in.
This is your fault.
Yeah. Like, got to remind myself to replace that. And then I stick it in my shoulder holster and look down the alleyway. And as he probably goes back and I'm gaining ground on him and I finally hit him, I try to grab the motorcycle he's on if he's falling off of it to keep it from falling onto the ground.
Okay. You can do that. And when we come back to you next time, we'll talk about how visible this was to everyone and whatnot. You do have a silencer, so it's not like there's an immediate reaction, but it'll be very quick because there's a big crowd. There's lots of pedestrians. They've just seen 2 guys drop. There's blood on the street. Yeah, what's Frank gonna do? All right, so Frank, you let me do one thing here. Okay, so Frank, you grab that bike before it falls. Emanuel, you and your quarry are still wrestling, but now the burly dude has runs around the rear of the car, comes all the way around to your side. He's doing this before you act, and he grabs you by like the back of the jacket and by the arm, and he's just trying to throw you off of her into the building, into the back of the restaurant. So your armor class is 10, is that right?
It is 10.
All right. He is not successful at doing that. So there's 3 of you kind of scuffling now, where he's she's like a snake, right? She's just you're moving all over the place. She's stronger than she looks. So this guy kind of comes to try to grab you, but then you move. The two of you slam against the door. The door bends back a little bit, then it comes forward. The two of your feet are scuffling in the alley. The guy's like, "Stop it! Let go of her!" And then the driver goes, "Come on, we have to go." And then meanwhile, we don't see this, but you don't see this, but the audience does. Through the windshield of the car at the far end of the alley, there's just this. The two guys fall, and then there's Frank holding the bike. I've
got my earpiece in. I've got my earpiece in, so I hear all the silence shots, and I'm like, Frank must be around.
Yep. Yep. All right. So your captive here is going to try to use her heel and stomp your foot, and drive her heel right through your foot to try to get you to let go of her. What are you going to try to do as the two of you are wrestling?
All right. I am. What I want to do is to use one of my gadgets to plant a bug on her, and I am just going to lose this fight.
Okay.
Okay. Right at this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to overpower the two of them. And I'm so at this point, I'm just thinking, maybe I can salvage some information by just getting a bug on her. Okay?
What does this bug look like?
It is a, it's like a matte, looks like a matte black, little coin. And so it has like, I can pick up audio and, track with it. And it's covered in, it's that stuff that they know how to synthesize, like what the gecko's foot pads are. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
There's an adhesive.
It's like, what?
Is it an adhesive? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like this super adhesive, like that. So, we're like all tangled up, and I could see she's about to stomp my leg. So I am just going to try to stick it in the inside of her her clothes or blouse or something like that, just to get it up and out of the way. And if I can, I'm just going to actually try to push away from her, and just push this guy back so that I'm disengaged. Because right now, at this point, they can go. And I figure we got to get out of here with all the gunshots going off. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's make the gadget roll first, which is it sounds pretty plausible. Maybe not. If the fact that it's a microphone as well, a little less plausible. But let's say roll a d6. Don't roll a 1 or a 2, and the gadget will work as you hope it will.
Famous last words. Just don't roll a. Oh, I got a 6.
All right. So it's adhesive and all the rest. But what I do want you to do is you're kind of I want a charisma roll here. So this is you sort of playing up the fact that okay, I'm out. I'm placing the bug. So if you are successful at this, beat a 4. If you're successful at this, you'll plant the bug and convince them that the best option here is just for them to leave you alone and get away, right? Go ahead and do it.
I got no charisma modifier. It's just so just FYI.
50-50.
4.
Look at that. All right. So you're not quite sure where it goes. There's this, you're fumbling. There's a bit of her clothing. Then you because you've slacked off a bit, the bigger guy grabs you and just shoves you off of her, starts coming at you like, why are you doing this? Leave her alone. What's wrong with you? Kind of thing. And you're like, oh, all right. What do you say to him? What are you pleading?
I'll just say, oh, thanks. Now your face is on the camera in the back of the cafe, dumbass.
All right. If you say that, he takes a swing at you.
Okay. Whoop.
All right. So there's 2 points of damage that is basically, it looked like he was about to push you and say, just get the fuck out of here, beat it. But as soon as you gave him that, now you're on a camera, he's like, what the fuck? And there's just this solid jab, just boom, right into your face. Back of your head hits the concrete. Two damage. You slide down the wall a little bit. He just says something, horrible to you, like, there'll be more where that came from if you give me lip like that. The girl's in the car, the door is slamming. He heads back for his door as well, and you're kind of against the wall, like, oh. All right, Amelia. The phone cracker is still going. You're heading for the bridge.
Yep. Does it look like I'm being followed, or?
Give me a wisdom skill check. So add your wisdom modifier and roll a d6.
Actually, I don't think that rolled. That kind of tumbled. Hang on. Much better. Or 2.
You turn, and it's basically, there's a lot of people on the street. There's the traffic. There's buses going by. You're like, I think I'm in the clear. I think this is all good.
Well, I'll just say, anyone need help? Right, I'll sort of start making my way back that way.
Okay.
Coming in from the back of the alley, not the front of the street.
Okay, got it. Frank, you've got a bike in your hands. There's 2 guys on the ground. The first pedestrians are starting to like, what we know what's going on. They're starting to steer clear around you. Kind of a circle of, a cone of yikes is forming around you. So people are starting to like point, and we haven't heard the classic. They're coming though, I assure you. We haven't heard the yet. We haven't heard that yet, but it's coming. But down the alley, you see there's some, a little bit of violence goes on. There's more scuffling. Emanuel gets punched. He's dropped. The girl's in the car. The other guy he's running for the passenger side, and you can see the driver like, and if he comes, he's coming like straight at you, right?
Oh, sure.
What does Frank do?
I get on the motorcycle and I grab the clutch, click it down, grab the gas, open it wide open, and pop up the clutch and run right down the alley, straight down towards the car.
Okay, what's your intention, or like are you trying to ram it and jump off of it, or what are you trying to do?
Well, it depends. So I will look if Bardem is out of the way enough, and that guy's still out, like outside the car, then I'm going to attempt to jump off the back of the motorcycle and have it run into the guy.
I got it. So basically, if the car is here, right?
Yeah.
You're coming down the alley this way. You could come this way and like run it right into either his open door or him as he's trying to get in, right? That kind of thing.
Correct. If he's already in the car by the time I get to the car, like if he's inside, then I would just hop off the motorcycle and run the motorcycle straight into the front of the car. That's what I'm doing.
Got it. Okay. So for this turn, we'll see you get on. You see, you have to do the classic 180, spin it around, right? To point in the right direction. Yeah.
Whip it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you see your patent leather shoes lift the ground and go onto the the mounts, and then the bike just right down the alleyway. So overhead scene, we see the woman getting in, the guy heading for the door, and then here comes right down, and we're going to get you to make a check next time, Sean, to see if you can beat the guy getting into the car or not. Right? Emanuel, the howl of a Ninja Interceptor style bike fills the alley, and you can tell that the getaway car is about to launch off as well. What are you doing against the wall?
What's in the alley? I mean, it's like full of trash cans, and
it is. It's not filthy though. It's the sort of place where this is how they collect the trash from all the restaurants and all the businesses here, right? So there's a lot of dumpsters and bins and that sort of thing. But I wouldn't say it's like it's not like it's chaos back here. It's pretty well organized. But there's lots of cover. There's lots of, give me an idea and you can do something.
I'm trying to think at this point. Thinking it's. I don't know how successful Frank is going to be if he hits the front of this car, what it might actually do. Can they back out of the alley?
Yep, they could.
So they're pointed one way, but there's an entrance out the other. Okay,
there is, but let me say this: the entrance out the front is close. the entrance out the back, they'd have to reverse out. There's not enough room to turn the car around, and it's a long way down. So they'd have to back up quite a ways.
All right. Is there anything back here that I could stick under the back wheels of the car?
Roll me a d6. Die of fate.
All right.
Higher is better.
Yep. 5.
There's a board with nails in it.
That looks good.
It's a pallet that someone has broken apart, right?
Sure.
So it's all stacked up. So there's a big piece of wood here with nails in it that you could use.
I'll stick it under the tires. Yeah. Okay.
Like the rear tire if they go forward type of thing.
Yeah. Wait a minute though. He's going to hit the front, isn't he?
Hard to know what Frank's going to do. I have to say.
Let me think. Violent? If it's all right. So I'm going to stick it under the back because I have full confidence that Frank is like the number one property damage dude, and in Bureau 19, he's like at the leaderboard of property damage. So
he's on a list. Let's put it that way.
Right.
If the director reviews like,
yeah, I'm constantly having to like hack into the accounts and and drop him down a couple levels on the leaderboard so that whatever. Okay.
Yep. So just describe one last time. Yeah, behind the wheel.
So I see the boards. I see the half of the broken pallet, and I just stand up, and I take a couple steps and I just kind of slide it under the back wheels of the car. So if they try to get back after whatever he does to the front of the car, it'll deflate the tires.
Okay. Got it. All right. So let's if you guys don't mind, I'm going to accelerate this just a little bit.
Sure.
Amelia,
sure.
you're still walking, you're heading back towards the scene. Frank, let's get you to make a driving check, basically.
Oh boy.
So if you were a transporter, you'd have a bonus to this, but you're not. So it's dexterity. Beat a 4. This is to beat the guy. This is for you to make the decision as to whether you're ramming the car or the dude. If you make the roll, you can try to ram the dude. If you fail the roll, you'll have to ram the car. Right?
Fair.
D6, beat a 4.
I rolled a 3.
Ooh. So as you're coming down, car is getting closer and closer. You see the passenger get in, slam his door. And then you see the driver's like what? What are you doing? Because you're coming down.
I could go right past the side of the car, like meow. Shit.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
But knowing now that you're not going to run the guy over.
Right.
What's the plan?
I guess if I'm past the
point,
point,
need to get out of here quick.
Yeah, if I'm past the point of no return, right? He gets in the car just in time where I can't hit the front of the car, and he's inside the car. Then I just I go past it as I lock up the back brake. Okay,
so you fly past. Let's say this, and you correct me if I get the narration wrong, but he basically sees it coming. He's like, "What the?" He slams his door as you go by and rip the mirror right off the car. Just the bike's just like this flash that goes right past. And Emanuel, you see the bike go flashing by, and then hear the squeal of a tire as Frank throws it into a skid. But at the same time, the car is now launching so the Audi launches out.
And if
Sean,
it was too bad, I might have hit the stupid board that Bardem threw in with the nails.
You know what? I think this does demand a driving check to make sure there's no mishap.
Fair.
Oh my God.
And let's say it is a difficulty of let's go for 5. To not damage the bike or yourself.
Hey, roll
on the
6.
comms, I'll say, Emanuel, we gotta go. Cops coming.
All right, I hear you.
I rolled a 6.
All right, so you hear Amelia on the radio. Yep, there's a little wiggle to the bike, and you avoid the board as well. You're like, what the hell's that doing there? All right, so Amelia, you can indeed see people are gathering on the street now by the alley, which was down from the cafe where you were seated, right? And as you're watching, though, the crowd suddenly parts, and this black sedan comes flying out onto the street, tires squealing. turns, and it looks like it's about to go. Because of the way the crowd is gathered, they are blocked from going with the flow of traffic. So they're going up the one way the wrong way. So up this Audi starts tearing up the street just to try to make a getaway. It looks like it's driving recklessly quickly. And you can see tons of people are now on their phones. It's a matter of time before, just like you said, before the cops are called. There's probably, the equivalent of a 911 call that's already been placed. In the alley, go ahead.
I'm running to the bike because we need to get out of here.
Yeah, so I was going to say, in the alley, Emanuel, you're getting to your feet. Frank, you've turned the bike around as you see the taillights of the Audi, thump as they go out of the alley onto the street and then tear away in the wrong direction, right? They probably turn one way and then there's a wobble to the steering wheel as they see a wall of people and then they go the other way type of thing. But what are the two of you doing? The other bike, Emanuel, is at the top of the alley, right?
So I turn the bike around and I pull up to Bardem and stop. And I'm
going to say, I've got a bug on him. I'm going to say, I got a bug. I'll get on the bike and I will, on the open comm, the three of us, I'll say, there's a bug on them. Let's just get out of here and not cause any more disturbance. And then we can follow them without having to, unless you guys want to do, a scene from Ronin, one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Yeah. I can say I've got a moped stashed a block away. I just walk to that and we'll meet up. We'll cut to
probably have a one of it
or whatever.
Okay, so are we okay closing the scene then with basically this Audi tearing away, Amelia heading for a moped, and Frank being just like, "Brum, brum, brum, damn it."
Yeah. So in that instance, then what I do is I get Bardem on the bike and I turn it around the original direction I was going and go out the other end of the alley and just take it easy.
Yeah.
Mosey down there, get to the intersection, look left and right. If it's clear, I just pull out, just take off down the street casually, and then we'll go to our rendezvous point.
Okay. So the last thing we see for this scene then is the two of you on the bike tearing down the alley. Let's who hasn't rolled a die in a while? Let's have Amelia do it. Amelia, give us a die of fate. D6. Don't roll a 1.
1.
Yeah, baby. So in the future,
right, so I don't want to.
In the future, if we say who hasn't rolled a die in a while, Blake has rolled 10, so probably want somebody else to do it.
Yep. So I don't want to protract the scene too much, but tell me what you're going to do here. So the two of you are on the bike coming to the end of the alley, and up pulls a police car, and it pulls to a stop right in front of you. Are you going to try to turn around? You're going to try to slip past? It doesn't block the alley. You could get out, but it would be clear that there's two guys on a bike driving away from this scene.
You speak Czech, remember, Emanuel?
Yeah, I do.
What do the two of you do?
I try to maneuver slowly around the police car, it's like I'm minding my own business and he's on they're doing their own business. I got to get out of the way of the police. And so kind of wander past it. And then once I get around it, I just slowly start to put on the throttle, go really slow. There's probably people around.
If they're if the window's open or I see anybody getting out or they're actually after us, because I'm not quite sure if they are after us yet, but they are. I'm going to give them a perfect description of the sedan and point back the other way and say, "Sorry, well, let us get out of your way," and I'll give the description of the car. Okay.
So as you slow the bike down, and you're sort of adopting a slightly lower profile. Indeed, two policemen do get out. They've got their slickers on. They've got their police hats. With the yellow band around, white hat. Mm-hmm. And they are both stop. Where are you going? Where are you coming from? There's been a reported shooting. What's going on? So Wayne, I think this is when you are saying Emanuel's going to talk to them, right?
Right. So okay. I'm going to say, I heard something that could have been gunshots up the alley. And I saw this car, to rocket out the other side that, I saw people jumping out of the way.
What did the car look like? Did you get a plate?
I'll give him, I'll say that, black Audi, and I will, give him the description of that.
Okay. The second cop goes into the car and gets on the radio and starts reporting that. But the first one that you're talking to, I want you to give me basically a persuasion check. So beat a 4 or better on a D6 to convince him that you shouldn't be kept for questioning since you're witnesses.
Okay.
Sean's like, what the?
I guess perception, interrogation, and computer. So I guess this doesn't actually count.
I'll give you the interrogation.
Okay. All right.
Kind of the other side of that. Sorry, Blake, what were you going to say?
I was going to say perception because he can give details on what he saw.
Yeah. Right. I'll give that to you.
Okay, right. A 5.
All right. So you give the guy
I'm sorry.
detail.
No, it's a 6 with my +1.
Even better. You give him enough detail and convince him that there's enough urgency that, in fact, if they get in the car and go that away, they may, they may even be able to.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was. Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. So the guy climbs back in the car while they're raiding, and they tear off, and they're trying to go kind of on an intercept to the same direction that the Audi was headed.
Too bad that board's there.
Well, they're going up the street. They're not going up the alley.
Okay, good.
Yep. All right, and then we'll close the scene. Sorry for the protraction there, but I think Blake rolled a 1, so we gotta follow the dice here. All right. Anybody else mind if we take a 5-minute at this stage, and then we'll come back and we'll do our next scene?
Sounds
Does that
good.
work?
That's great.
Okay. All right.
We're back.
Well, again. Okay, so let's resume here. We've closed the first scene, which is the meet which went sideways in Prague. You are, I think, in a hotel room in Prague where you've come for this, and you're evaluating a couple of things. So Amelia has the phone cracked. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Wayne. I'm thinking maybe what the bug does. Do you have the equipment for that, or does that go back to some kind of central control and you have to coordinate with them? How does that work?
I mean, I was thinking that the laptop that I have, I could use that. Do I need to take if it has special abilities? Do I need to take that as a gadget, or is it just considered part of my hacker kit?
It's for your hacker kit now. If there's some mechanical thing you want to do with it in the game to solve something, then we'll probably roll for it to see how well it does as a gadget. But it's fine as window dressing at this point.
All right.
In the hotel room, who has dressed the back of Emanuel's head with a bandage? Who's going to roll first aid and give him 1d6 hit points back?
I'll have a go.
All right.
I rolled a 4 plus. I don't know.
I think it's just a d6.
So I rolled a 4.
Yep. So I think that gets you back to full. Is that right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was making like a first aid skill roll or something. Okay. Cool.
No, I don't think you need to make a skill roll. I think it's just basically. I could be wrong on that, but I think you just roll it. Sorry about that, Blake. I wasn't very clear. That was the number of hit points you get back. Just roll it straight, type of thing. So you're bandaged up, your jaw is sore, your fingers are sore, but you're in the end no worse to wear, right? So inside Branson's phone, it takes some doing, Amelia. You have to go through sort of emails and texts and all the grody social media and all that good stuff to find out what's really going on here. And you can see where he's, there's this random number, like a long number that you can't place on anything in terms of who it is that he's been communicating with, which looks like some sort of contact inside either Bureau 19 or the CIA or something like that. So when you go through his history of that chat, you discover that he believes that Kiskatek, the company, is making some sort of bomb. They are a microchip manufacturer, by the way. So they're a high-tech company. But there's a special project that he has become aware of where they're making something that looks like it's some sort of payload delivery for like a chemical agent, like a broadcast bomb, chemical agent kind of thing. Very unusual and unlike anything the company normally does. So this is why he was raising alarm bells. He was, he's sort of seconded from a different company working on other projects inside Kiskatech, but was trying to raise the alarm to the basically American intelligence agencies that there appears to be something strange being built inside of this this Czechoslovakian or this Czech Republic company. On the bug, Emanuel, you were able to track the vehicle once it got out of the downtown core. The vehicle made its way, in fact, to the Kiskatech campus. So it went back to this same facility. It looks like they evaded capture from the looks of things. And it can be hard to hear, but from what you can pick out, there's constructs the three people in the car over the fact that their mission almost went completely off the rails, that they lost two people that they know. There's a lot of like, did you see what happened to Frankie and what happened to Larry? The equivalent Czech Republic names. We should look those up. But you can tell from just listening in that this appears to be, I won't say low rent, but they appear to be sort of hired muscle, right? Maybe not the people who know the most about whatever the bigger picture is here, but people who are hired to make sure that Branson never made the meeting, or if he made it, then they cleaned up after it, type of thing. What's your overall game plan at this point?
So we now know where the Kiskatech. We know where Kiskatech is because we have the bug, and I guess that it doesn't look like they were hiding anything about where the campus was either. So
yeah, it is not a secret facility. A quick Google search would show you exactly where picture a high tech company with 4 or 5 buildings on the campus, all big, tall glass structures just outside of Prague.
And we have a key card too.
You do.
Well, it sounds like we need to go take a look.
Do any research? Any research on the company or anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And Frank, you're quiet. Anything? What's Frank doing while the research is being done? Amelia and Emanuel are like on their game now, right, in the hotel room. What's Frank doing while they're researching?
Disassembling his pistol, taking off the silencer, taking it apart, looking at it, wondering how he missed 3 shots at relatively short range. Wondering why the sight it's got to be off. So there's something wrong with it. Making sure maybe the parts are a little loose. And so he's vaguely listening to Bardem and Marconi and what they're doing. Every once in a while, if he hears something, he just maybe shakes his head, nods, shakes. Yeah. Puts his pistol back together, gets out the oil, cleans it out. So, you guys come up with anything?
We're working on it.
Going by the phone thing, does it look like he regularly had contact with other people that worked at Kiskatech?
Yes. And in fact, why don't you give me, Blake, give me a kind of an information gathering, cracking kind of roll to see what else you can find out than what I've told you already. Beat a 4 on a D6.
I got a 4 exactly. Do I get wisdom bonus? Or security systems?
For that one, I think you would probably get intelligence, and I think
no, I don't. Damn it.
Okay, that's enough, regardless. So yes, indeed. So there's actually, you can picture what someone's phone is like. There's a lot of conversational threads you can pull and you could dive into. But as Frank is asking you this, you're just stumbling across further conversation with another colleague who also seems surprised about the project people are working on, and they also say, I'm not sure what the Russians are doing here and why those guys were attached to the project. Did you see that that there was a high security meeting that no one was allowed into? I'm not sure what that's about. So there's not a lot of good detail, but there's definitely more than one employee who's kind of wondering what's up with this and what's this project. And now you've made this connection that there's some sort of Russian broker, consultant, some sort of player that's been, they were not identified by name because Branson didn't know, wasn't part of that part of the organization, so he doesn't know who they were.
No. But going by the way, the people that attacked Emanuel, were they using like standard KGB judo or something? Like by the martial arts they used, can we tell what their background or training might be?
What your best guess there is that they are local Czech organized crime sort of being hired. So not KGB, not former Secret Service or anything like that. They were certainly tough and focused and knew what they were doing, but they did not seem like they were Spetsnaz, former Spetsnaz or anything like that.
Yeah, so they were probably not the Russian that the conversations are.
And they were speaking Czech. These guys were Czech, that you've already encountered. They were not Russian.
Well, I'll throw out the idea. Should we try and find out where this other guy that it's been talking to lives? Maybe have a chat with them so we can find out more, or do we want to try and break in?
That's a good idea. I also, just generally speaking, are we as Bureau 19 agents, are we kind of empowered to keep going, or would we normally check back in with whoever our controller is and let them know what we found out? I just don't know what the protocol is for.
I think you have quite a bit of latitude when you're in the field, right? You're small teams, but you're also this is not Delta Green where you are turned loose and you get no support. So I would imagine in the hotel room you probably have a secure connection over your laptop, and you can connect directly back to your controller. And that's why I asked the question about the bug and that sort of thing, right? So they're probably trying to bring satellites to bear right now to figure out, this is a serious spy agency, right? So in fact, on your laptop, you probably have a spy overhead shot of the campus, and you can in fact even see the car parked, behind the building type of thing. So you have pretty good resources with that regard. And there's one more piece of information I do want to share. So the CEO of Kiska is a fellow named Johan Kiska. And he is someone that, once you report it, once you tell the control team that Kiska is involved in this, they do their research and they come back with potential ties that Kiska has to the cabal. So he's been investigated before. They've never been able to pin anything on him, but he's one of a number of companies that appears to either launder money or produce technology or somehow be involved with this wider criminal network that you guys haven't gotten your arms around yet. That's the last piece of information I'll give you.
So, Harrigan, did you tell us what kind of bomb this is? I remember you saying bomb. I don't remember.
Only that it seems to be something that is built to disperse like a chemical agent. Okay, like to provide wide coverage, wide delivery of a chemical agent is what it seems like. They didn't mention if it was conventional or atomic or anything like that.
So my bug, I believe, was planted on the woman.
Yeah.
Can I see where she is on the campus?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not talking about like a video of her, but can I tell like she's in this building, or can I hear what she's saying or anything like that?
Yep.
Or we had
Yep. No, I think that's perfect. So let's have your laptop. If you tap to the screen, you zoom in. You can use a satellite feed to give you kind of the Google Map view of the dot, right? So you obviously don't have a floor plan or anything like that. Right. But it's the main building that she's in. So the headquarters for Kiska. And you can see the dot is sort of, if the building is square, she's in one, what looks like probably a big corner office, right? She's at one edge of the building. And you can hear, as you kind of tune in, it's a little muffled, right? Because she's got a jacket on, it's tucked inside the edge of her blouse. But you can hear someone saying, "So the police, did they see you or not doing this? Do I have something to be worried about, or do I not have anything to be worried about? Is there cleanup that we have to do?" He has this very methodical way of speaking. Right. Sounds like he's Czech. Your GM is completely unable to do Czech and then Russian differently, so they're all going to sound the same. So I apologize. And you can tell from sort of the conversation that's going on that this crew, you can picture them, even though you can't see them. They probably have their hands like this a little bit, like, I hope this goes well. Talking to the boss. And
Right.
no, there's very much, no one saw who we were. Everything is clean. I don't know what happened to Frankie and Larry. Why, the guy who knocked them over. We think it was undercover Czech police. I don't know why they got so violent. Maybe you know how Frankie shoots his mouth off. Maybe Larry, you could see the butt of his shotgun. The guy always has that shotgun, So maybe it was that. I don't know. So they're kind of they're not backpedaling, but they're trying to explain away that no, the operation went fine. Everything's cool, kind of thing, right? So the other voice, the person you don't know, says, "Well, I will send the crew to make sure this is the case, and I will be giving you a call if I find out that some cleaning is required. So I appreciate your services to this point, and I will be in touch." And you hear the woman say, "Fuck! Oh no!" So you can kind of tell they're walking at this stage, and you can see the dot moving. So they're being escorted out, and the three of them are in check, basically saying, "We're going to leave town." As soon as they're out of the office, they're like, "That I don't trust this guy." Have you worked for him before? No, I've never. I don't. This guy's the first time I've taken the contract from these guys. I don't trust him at all. We need to lay low for a while. So the gist of it is they were a hit team that was hired, right?
Right. Okay. Next interview they have will be on plastic sheeting. Right.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. All right. Knowing what you all now know, and with your pistol put back together, Frank, what do the three of you now want to do?
I think we should get in there. I mean, I want to hear everybody say, but we definitely need to get in there. And if they're making this bomb, we need to get the goods on it or shut it down. What about y'all?
Are we going to do the break in there with a possible backup of some sort of explosive diversion, or are we doing we're customers and we're going to go in disguise and try and subtly plant information gathering stuff, or third option?
Is Frank the third option, the nuclear option?
I didn't hear where I come in. So Bardem, you got a plan? Did you get all the things you need? Marconi, maybe you should sit this one out, and have Bardem and I take it over, and we'll turn this stuff over to HQ, and maybe we could see this through.
Don't give me that. I'm here. We will all see it through. We're all going to help each other. Don't treat me like little sister.
No, I just.
Yeah, we can probably use someone
fine.
that
Sure.
who needs that. She's good at infiltration. So maybe we got to look at that angle, and then but I do want to hear what everybody thinks. Is getting information enough, or do we need to shut this down?
Bardem, you okay?
How does 019 normally
nervous? Roll? Like, we should just come on now. It was like in Warsaw that one year. We should probably just go in there, figure out what we need, and steal the plans or blow the place up. I mean, we can't let this get out in the open. Come on. No?
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I was asking kind of, No, I was asking the just in general, how is Bro 19 roll? We solve problems. Is that the kind of idea behind this?
People who do bad things for good reasons.
All right, God, I'm sorry. I forgot the concept.
You are all the deniability that you need, and do what needs to be done. In this case, let me do some arithmetic for you. There's a potential connection to the Cabal, and there's a weapon of potentially mass destruction that's been mentioned here. So there's probably some urgency around getting eyes on it, finding out what it is, destroying it, disrupting it, whatever, right? That's what your controller would tell you.
Okay. So then we go in, we destroyed the bomb making capability, and we try to gather information so we can tie this dude to Cabal.
Yeah, so we'll break in, try and be quiet, and get as much information as possible. If we have to, well, if or when we have to break our way out, then we'll shoot as many people as we can, and Frank can step up and do what Frank does best.
Yeah, I think stopping the bomb production is one. Information gathering is our secondary, as our secondary objective. So we need to get in there. I know you're really good at that, but all of us need to get in there to be able to get this to do the most damage.
I wouldn't mind some sort of demolitions or something as a diversion, and if we have trouble getting out, that can sort of help us. Frank, can you do that stuff? C4, C12, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I've got some C. You want me to just blow up a building? Is that what we're doing here? Is that the plan?
Well, like if we're going in the south building, you go on the northeast or something like that. So it's a diversion to draw attention away if we need to get out in a hurry, which we probably will.
I mean, I could do that. Sure. I mean, you guys know me. I'm always willing to put a fuse to some action, but I don't know. We got.
Can I make a hacking roll? Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bardem. What you got? Some ideas? I mean, you're the all knowledgey guy. What do you think?
Knowledgey. All right. Sorry. Can I make a hacking roll? And I'd like to see if I could find out what's being delivered there today. And maybe we step up and just if there's a delivery truck, we could hijack the delivery truck, use that to get in on the campus. Does that make sense?
Hey, if it's sent from the campus, we could pretend to be them.
Right. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's our way in. And then you could also rig it for C4. If we have to get out, you could blow the truck up and, cause a big diversion after we're out of the truck.
Got it. So I'm going to give you two options here,
okay,
Emanuel. Because you have eyes on, you guys have what's called a permanent stare on this facility, right? There's a satellite in geosynchronous orbit sitting on top of the place looking at it. So you can try to hack into Kiskatek's systems, and you will rapidly discover that when you make your hacking roll, that difficulty is a 6. These guys are serious about their security. You also see a bunch of DHL delivery vans out back. So you could try to hack their supply chain as well, which, as we're finding out in this world, is less secure than the facilities that they serve.
Right, exactly, right.
That would probably take you a little longer to sort through DHL systems. You take a break, Sean? Did we lose him?
He froze.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I think
we can hear you, but you look frozen on the screen.
Yeah, my wife hit the FaceTime. I have to quick run my dog out, but do
you mind if we carry on with the hacking piece of this?
By all means. And by then, I hope
let us know when you come back.
I hope I could try to refresh too, but I'll be right back.
I may catch up.
Got it.
I also have informants I might be able to pull on too, if that looks.
Yes, right. That's right.
Okay.
So let's do this. So as you snoop around, you get your laptop rolling, right? In terms of you get onto the dark web and you start doing what you need to do to try to get in the back door of these places. You can tell that if you try to hack Kiskatek, there are also countermeasures in place. I'll say that.
Yeah. Hands off. Yeah.
You can try. You can certainly try. It's not undoable.
I'll be AFK on that. Sorry.
If you're just trying to go straight to the DHL systems, that's only going to be a 4 to hack that, but you're potentially going to learn a lot less, right?
That's fine. I'll do that. What I was also wondering if I could help Amelia out is if if there's any intel we can gather on their security systems. I don't know if we can get that from the home base or from what they can see, or if a list of folks who are providing security for them. But I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that, as well as like Google Maps and the satellite thing, I got to sort of look around the building as much as possible to look at sort of approaches where there'll be less. Well, I will think there'll be less sort of camera angles and less motion sensors and stuff, so we know, okay, we need to come from this. Yeah, and just spend a good half hour on that.
Sweet.
Okay.
And I think look at that. Security systems is in your area of expertise. So we're going to do two roles here. We'll do the hacking piece that Emanuel is going to try to find out what he can about deliveries today. And then in a minute, Amelia, we're going to get you to do your security analysis and that sort of thing. Emanuel, it's a difficulty of 4, right?
Okay.
You have +1 for computers. And I think this is probably intelligence, isn't it? Do you think?
Yeah, but that gets me nowhere. But that makes sense.
Okay. So try to beat a 4 with a D6 +1.
I rolled a 6, so it's a 7.
All right. So sure enough, you find in the DHL systems, this takes you some time to do this, right? But you find, there's probably a company this size, there's probably like 25 deliveries that happen today, right? There, across probably 4 different windows of time. So, each van probably has 5 or 10 different packages or shipments that it's bringing to these guys. It seems to be pretty standard fare. So as you look through the manifests, of course, it's DHL, so they don't know a lot about what's in some of these packages, right? Some of them have to be marked if they are hazardous materials and all that sort of stuff. But it looks like pretty traditional stuff you would expect for a high-tech manufacturing company. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Let's say it was kind of midday when you were at the cafe. Mm-hmm. So should we say it's now sort of late afternoon by the time you're doing this?
Yeah.
So let's say there's 2 more deliveries that will happen today. One right around supper time, the next hour or so, and then there's one evening delivery as well, as the world's shipping has changed in the last few years. If you guys have noticed, and they deliver kind of round the clock on this stuff. So if you wanted to try to be part of that, that's what you find. But you had a question, Wayne. Go ahead.
Can I find out what they're, I'm assuming that these are not like DHL's picking something up at the airport and bringing it over there. There may be like multiple deliveries. So if I could find like where these guys are going to be, the place before they go to the Kiskatech factory, if we're gonna intercept them, that's kind of where we would have to be. Does that make sense?
I'll let your hacking roll reveal. So you pick the truck, right? And you're going to find out that in that same business park where Kiskatech is, there's a delivery they make, 30 minutes beforehand, right? Okay. There's a pharmaceutical company that's there that they're going to make a delivery to. So if you wanted to get on board or do something with the truck, that would be your moment to do it.
I'm just wondering if it's like, you said there's 25 deliveries. If 24 of them are in a van, but one of them's in a truck because it's got heavier goods in it, is there anything that stands out with like the type of delivery vehicle?
No, these are all kind of the traditional vans.
Okay,
cool. Right. So they're all pretty standardized fleet. Nothing. They don't appear to be shipping in anything that's super oversized. This is all pretty standard stuff.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to use my my network of informants to see if I could find somebody. Oh, I think this is actually excellent. Okay. How about if I have like some of my network of informants are actually the dry cleaning business, and because they see a lot of people, they go a lot of places, and they have access to uniforms, and I'm going to see if I can get 3 DHL, DHL uniforms.
Love it. So. So let's say this: you've done your research and you leave the hotel and you're off to see your informant. You're like, I got an idea, kind of thing, right? So we'll just do a, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but we'll do a vignette, a vignette of you at the, meeting with someone at the back of the dry cleaner, and they're like, what do you want me to get you kind of thing? And, you're picking out the uniforms and all that good stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So Amelia, on the security system, give me an action roll on that. And I think probably also intelligence, but if you want to give me wisdom, you can make the case. I'm pretty flexible what stats you roll against. And then you get a +1 from your expertise around security systems as well, right? So if you can beat a 4, you'll find out. Let me put it this way: you're going to find out things anyway, but you'll find out more if you beat the 4.
Yeah.
Can I before I go off? Can I drop the location of where we're likely to be jumping these guys so that Amelia can look at that too? And, Oh, the pharmacy. Yep. Okay, right. So,
by all means, sounds like you passed, Blake.
So 5 total.
Nice. Okay, so the security system, this whole campus appears to be laden with cameras. Lots of cameras all over the place, right? There are guards on the campus as well, which is a little unusual for security or for a high-tech company. Most of them appear to be sort of they're the employees of the company. They have sidearms. They're not like, commandos though. They're guys who carry radios, and sidearms, which in Europe they're not supposed to use most of the time, right? It's a last resort type of thing. And you do notice straight away. So this campus has, say, 6 buildings, right? Including the big headquarters where you heard the conversation earlier. At one edge of the campus, there appears to be one of the manufacturing buildings that has way higher security in terms of fences, checkpoints, and that sort of thing. So many of the buildings you drive up to, you park and you walk in the lobby, right? There's one building that has like a 10-foot fence, it has razor wire, and it has cameras like on all sides of the building, type of thing. What other questions would you have about security?
I'm hoping they're thinking 2D. So is there any sewer tunnels we could come up from underneath it with?
Yeah, certainly. There's connecting tunnels. In fact, we'll let your security check ride here, and digging a little bit deeper, working with control. Control can get you some schematics of the building, right? And you find that, in fact, there is a network of tunnels beneath all 6 buildings that connects them. Not even sewers. There's actual tunnel network down there.
We might be able to use that, because that way we could break in, go into one of the less protected buildings, and then use their own tunnels to get into the other one.
Yep, that's true. It does look like there's a checkpoint for where the underground tunnel enters that secure building. You would anticipate, it's hard to tell exactly what it consists of, but it looks like there's some sort of checkpoint there as well. It might be manned, it might not be manned. Okay. You could try to hack into their systems. You could actually get access to the cameras and all that kind of stuff. I want Wayne to hack into the system. Or try. Frank.
Yeah,
go ahead, Blake.
I was just going to say, all the security layouts and that I'll show Frank, so he can work out the best place to put the explosives or whatever for diversions.
Got it. So for most action checks that are going to involve trying to either circumvent or defeat the security, we'll let Amelia's roll here give a +1 to that sort of thing, right? Because she's done a fair bit of work on that. Frank, while you've been napping, your compatriots I'll try to summarize here. They've discovered that there's a DHL delivery that you guys could either piggyback on or replace or what have you. And to that end, Emanuel has gone. He's got some contacts in the Czech dry cleaning business. It's a booming business, and he is attempting to get some uniforms that would allow you to act as DHL employees, right? And you've even got the route the truck's going to take, so you can go to the building right before it on that route, and you can meet up with those guys and treat them kindly, I'm sure. Amelia has done analysis of the campus and discovered that it's pretty tight security all around. There are cameras all over the place. There are guards who walk patrolled sort of routes. There's one building of the 6. It's not the headquarters. That looks more like a production facility that is much more highly secure. It's sort of a lower and squatter building, but still glass. Lots of cameras, razor wire fence, checkpoint gate to get in. These guards don't have, they don't have CC-75 pistols. They have submachine guns. So there's definitely something different about that building. And the last thing that Amelia discovered is that there is a network of tunnels beneath the campus that were clearly constructed at the same time the campus was to allow movement back and forth in those harsh Czech winters.
Did anybody check to
What
see?
do you all do?
Has anybody checked to see if the badge is still operational or could be used or no?
No, I imagine that. Well, that we'll probably have to use that once we get into the facility. Is what I'm thinking.
I just don't know how far DHL couriers are going to be invited into a well-secured building. Typically, I think they're going to probably be limiting us to the mail room. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Marconi, you got anything to say about that? I mean, you're the thief, right? Isn't that thiefy stuff? Like, you do?
We can, we get into any of the less secure buildings and then use the tunnels, underground tunnels, to get into the main one. Hopefully that pass will help. Otherwise, I'll try and crack it.
So is the goal to blow the entire place up, or are we trying to steal this thing, or what? I'm sorry. I'm just waking up. Has anybody got any coffee? Any coffee? Use some coffee.
I'll make some strong Turkish coffee. Blow his socks off. And I'll
just
say, look,
put it in a regular
try
cup.
And
Don't put it in one of those little cups. I don't.
That's fine. It's just going to be a lot. We're going to try and sneak in, get as much info as we can. If and when things go badly, then you can set the diversion explosion off to help us get out. Obviously, the explosion will not be where we are.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. So you want me to set up the explosions where?
Well, if we're going from the southeast building to the northwest, put them on one of the other corners.
So are we sure what building I should blow up? I don't want to blow up something that you might have to get into.
Yes, we do know. We're heading for the main building. We want one of the other ones.
All right.
If Control were hearing this, they would emphasize that you're not trying to cause civilian casualties.
Right.
I mean, if we were in the jungles of Guatemala, I probably wouldn't have a problem, blowing up a
not the Guatemala story again.
Drug cartel. Hey, look, he had it coming. It was a drug cartel. That guy could just be blown off the face of the earth. But we're in Prague in Europe. I mean, you want me to blow up a building?
It just has to be like a grenade going off. It doesn't have to be decimated block. It's just a diversion.
You guys, okay. You got to... Come on.
Important detail.
Small, minor detail. I mean, you're talking about... Marconi, you're talking about sea level. Sometimes I think you know what you're talking about, and then sometimes I'm not sure. So I took the sea level piece and took it to like an extreme. All right. So
no.
Just a grenade.
Here's your coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do.
Hey, thank you. By the way.
Yeah, I think you just need to, come up with a handful of those, and we'll plant them as we go. We're trying to do two things: get information and destroy their bomb making capability.
Well, can't you do that? Didn't they do that with what is it called? Stucker's net? What's this called? I read it in the newspapers. Didn't they send something into
Stuxnet?
Yeah. Is that what it was called? That's what it was.
If I try breaking into those guys, there's a really good chance that they're going to know, that they'll find out where we are, and my rig could get compromised. So that's why I decided not to screw around with that.
All right, man.
As it is, they think they have a bunch of incompetent hitmen. I'm worried about tipping our hands that that we're here. Do you see where I'm going?
Yeah, I mean, you know the deal, Bardem. I guess if you feel that's the proper way to go.
Let me ask you guys a question. It's late afternoon, approaching supper time. there's a delivery or two happening, in the evening still? Are you going to try and do something quickly, or are you going to wait till like the next morning type of thing? What's the overall plan here? Just going to kick you in the pants a little bit, get you moving towards the building.
I'm kind of thinking first thing in the morning, like 6 or 5 in the morning or something.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have those dates?
Absolutely.
Those times? Okay.
It's a one shot, Wayne. You have whatever you need, man. Yes.
As long as I have to roll that D6 again. Okay.
So that evening, Bardem comes back. Sure enough, Bardem has 3 DHL uniforms. I want you each to roll me a D6, and higher will be the uniform fits well, and lower is the uniform doesn't fit so well.
Roll 1.
3.
Roll 1. I want a 1. Give me a 1. Yeah.
I got a 6.
What did you get, Blake?
3.
3. Okay, so yours fits okay. It's not great. Emanuel, how did you roll?
I look fabulous.
All right. Yours is tailored. Tell us, Frank, what's your DHL uniform look
I didn't know these came in velour.
Bardem, you sure you got the right size? Yours looks okay. I think you have mine.
Are you guys aware of what DHL uniforms look like?
They're like orange, aren't they?
Yellow,
they're very bright. There we go.
That's just. I just googled it. That's disgusting.
Frank has
imagine one that does not fit so well.
Frank has like a T-shirt underneath, like a T-shirt, and then he doesn't even zip it all the way up. Like it's just like a jacket that doesn't fit, and he just
so Frank's is like
sleeves are
2
up
sizes
like this.
too small.
Yeah, the sleeves are like this. Like is this long sleeve or supposed to be short sleeve? I'm kind of confused.
I think we're gonna have to cut it off. Yeah.
All right. Any other plans you guys are making that night, or checking in with control on anything, or are we just kind of press fast forward here to the next morning? All right.
Okay, so we're gonna here's the deal, right? We're gonna get in the DHL truck. By the way, we could actually get some cartons and put the guns in the cartons. So we're going to use that to get into the campus. Then we're going to try to get from like whatever the mail room, mail dock, whatever, into the tunnels, and use that, and then infiltrate the high security area with the tunnels. Along the way, Frank's going to plant some explosives in case we have to cause more distractions.
Yes, including one in the truck.
Yeah, including one in the truck. And then now getting through that checkpoint is going to be hairy, and it may just involve ultra violence, Frank, to get through that checkpoint, right? But we might be able to to use his card. So should we have another set of clothes or something to change out of? If we can, maybe we need to try to snag that when we're there.
So are you anticipating this to go awry at the entrance of the compound, or?
It will go. No, we're going to get into the compound.
Oh, checkpoint. You said checkpoint. I was
checkpoint in
Frank wasn't paying attention before, so you better explain it to him.
Didn't have my coffee. Come on, Bardem. You know me. I don't operate without high
You've had 3 Turkish coffees, dude. You're standing on the ceiling right now.
Fair enough. I mean, all right, I got a little shake, but I think I'll be all right.
There's a checkpoint in the tunnel.
Oh,
this is what I was talking about.
Gotcha.
Right?
10-4.
I kind of think I don't want to stop to get changed. I kind of think let's just use the DHL uniforms, get in there, and we'll have silencers. Okay. If we have to shoot our way after that, fine. It's still going to be fairly quiet with the silencers anyway. And it's not going to be in public, so there's not going to be police coming.
Okay.
So what? Let me ask this: what? You're in your uniforms, And since you're pre-planning this, I'm fine with giving you all silencers for your weapons. You don't have to use gadgets for that because you're not doing it sort of in real time like Frank did. But what are you bringing with you? So are you bringing your vests, your heavier weapons, or are you just going with your sidearms?
We could put. Go ahead,
Wayne.
We could put the heavy weapons in DHL boxes.
Easily.
I'm taking sidearms. I don't need those damn things. These guys are civilians. I'm not worried about bazookas going off, and I got grenades and C4 to carry. Yep. I can't carry all that other shit.
Yeah, vest, but just pistol.
The heaviest armament, Amelia, that you saw was the guards. The patrols that are in the secure facility have MP5s. They have submachine guns. So it's not, and no one has body armor or anything like that. So it's not like it's a fortress.
And MP5s, that's a Frank problem, not an Amelia problem. So.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Until someone's pointing it at you, Amelia, that's your problem.
This isn't Guatemala. I would tell you guys whether you should bring some heavier metal.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it turns
my
we make one C4 guinea pig and we just can't get over it.
He was the guy in Caddyshack putting the fingers down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So it turns out this whole conversation has been happening in your car as you wait at the pharma company for the DHL truck to come. So we can fast forward.
Cool. That's cool.
Across this business park, you can see the Kiskatech campus. So you see these gleaming mirror-like glass buildings, right? Relatively new, big money, making microchips and all sorts of other fancy tech. And sure enough, here comes the DHL truck rumbling up the driveway. It's like a kind of a big semicircular type of affair, and they would normally park right in front of the building. Guy in his brightly colored uniform is going to jump out here. You tell me what you want me to do, or what you want to do. But he's, if you can predict it, he's going to jump out. He's going to go to the back and roll the back of the truck up, get his little wheelie, dolly, put some boxes on it. He's going to make a delivery here because you guys know what the size of the delivery is. It's probably like 4 boxes or something like that. So here comes the truck. What are you guys doing?
Can we have a trank gun and just put him asleep?
If you want to use one of your gadgets for that, you can.
Done.
Okay. So trank gun, that's a real thing, right? Let's go ahead and roll a die. Don't give me a 1 or a 2. And it'll work as intended.
3.
Okay, it'll work as intended. If you can shoot him with it, you'll knock him out, basically. Tell us, Amelia, what does this trank gun look like? How do you convey the tranquilizer?
It's probably just a front-loaded sort of spring thing. It's very short range. It's just a little. It's a nice shiny silver pistol.
And then
sound.
Administers a drug, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, got it. Okay, so Amelia's got this little silver pistol in her hand. Frank, I think that's a sign to you to maybe not murder the guy. I'm just hypothesizing. But what's where did you park? And tell me your approach as the guy pulls up and gets out and is clearly about to kind of do his thing. And he's got his iPad in his hand to get the delivery and all that kind of stuff. What are you guys doing?
Frank, you got this, or you want me to say something?
Yeah, I get out of the vehicle and start walking up to the truck as soon as it pulls up because I know he's going to be popping out any minute now. And hopefully I'd look around and see Marconi near me so that she's got the trank gun. And then as soon as she pops him off, I basically catch him from hitting the concrete. So as he's coming out, I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on? Hey." And then
okay, you have Amelia with you, right?
That's the goal, I hope.
So you're both in your DHL uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as he sees you, Frank, and you're trying to kind of convince him everything's fine, I'd like a charisma action check from you,
fuck.
and I want you to put an additional -1 on it because of the fact that this uniform clearly does not fit you. Clearly. So it'd beat a 4, but you've got to think a -2 on this roll. Why Frank is not your face guy.
Rolled a 2. End result 2.
Okay, and too bad.
Yeah,
So he's at the back of the truck. He's about to kind of move the latch and raise the back of it. And he turns when he sees it, and he's just, you can tell he's like, what the? He's got his iPad in his hands. Okay, so Amelia, you're not quite as close as you would have liked, right? So let's make this a dexterity attack. His armor class is 10. So I would have given you a kind of a point blank bonus, but because of Frank, you didn't quite get that close. So you're having to shoot him from like 15 feet away instead of like 5 feet away.
A strike from hiding because he's not expecting. Oh no!
I would have given you that, but Frank blew it. Otherwise, it would have totally been that.
I'm guessing a 7's not going to cut it.
Ah, shit! Did you honestly miss him?
God, man.
God.
So the trank gun is experimental, right? So the dart that it shoots is, digs into the side of the truck, the back of the back door, like ping. The guy's like, oh, what? Give me an initiative roll, you two. And Wayne, what are you about to say?
I think I was probably in the car in case I had to like pull the car out in front of this guy to stop him. And so I'm just like slack-jawed. But I guess I'm going to get out of the car now because it's on.
Okay. So Amelia, what did you get for initiative?
3.
And Frank?
4.
Frank got a 4. And what did you get, Emanuel?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was.
Yeah, may as well. Get in the scene.
I'm sorry, is this D6 or D20?
D6.
Pardon me.
D6 plus your dexterity modifier.
5.
In that case, I'm on 4 as well.
Sweet. Yeah, the initiative is always add your dex. So let's put it this way: all of you go before this guy does. So I think even though Emanuel has the highest roll, the other two are closer. So what are the two of you doing? You've just fired and missed with this little trank gun. I think it's probably a one-shot sort of thing.
So my goal would be to,
I think,
close and grab that dart off the door and stick it in him. I'm like, and all the while being severely perturbed.
That's right. You don't think Amelia's all that competent?
As a matter of fact, I'm like, as that happens, I'm like, seriously? Jesus Christ. Grab it.
Yeah. I'll run up and say sorry in Russian while I bang his head against the door. Because I forgive him.
Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. Who got the 5?
Bardem.
Oh,
Emanuel.
That's right. The two of you are at 4. So this happens at the same time. So let's do Amelia first. So Amelia, you run right up, and he's just like, as you rush him, he's like, what do you want? What are you guys doing? So
leg trip and head towards the back of the van.
Okay. So hand to hand, it's like a combat roll, which adds your strength. So it's an armor class of 10. Roll a d20, add your strength, and any other unarmed combat stuff you might have.
19.
Roll me a d6 and take 2 away.
2.
So a total of 2, and then this is simultaneous. So tell me, Frank, make your roll. You're having to pull the dart and kind of do a little extra, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you an unarmed combat roll with a -2 on it to see if you can do this.
Oh.
So it's your d20, it's your strength. Try to beat a 10.
That would be a 14 -2, 12.
Successful. So this poor guy is like, he's getting grappled, his head's banged, the dart comes into his shoulder, he crumples, and the two of you are just holding there's blood running from, back of his head. This guy's down. So Emanuel, you get out, and then you see this like flurry of activity. What do you guys do with the unconscious DHL driver?
In the back of the van?
He's at the back of the van. You're standing
right now.
Put him in it.
I lay him down in the back of the van.
Okay,
And
so
then
you open it up,
I waited.
scroll packages.
But I assess him. I'm looking at him like, and then I look at myself, and then I look at him and go,
Yeah, what's his size?
Roll a d6 if you want to change clothes.
I got a 4.
It's a better fit.
I grab his,
Take
off his coat, take off mine.
I was like, we don't have time for that, you dirty man.
Where do you do this?
In the back of the van. In the back of the van. I close the van.
I'll pull the door. I'll pull the door down.
Close the door. I'm not. Yeah. Taking off the coat, put it on. Like it's a uniform. It's not a freaking 3-piece suit. Like throw it on. This is better. Why could you? Hey, why could you steal this guy's outfit to begin with?
He had it, man. That's why.
Fair enough.
So I guess if we drive for about a block, Emanuel stashes that car and then gets in the van with us.
Okay. Tell me, like in real time, what you're doing with the van. Like, do you guys, while Frank is in the back, are you guys getting in the van and like, you got the keys out of the guy's pocket, right? Are you driving away? Where do you put him? He's in the back as well. Tell me a little bit about that.
All right. Well, yeah, we need to. Wait a minute. We're really close, right? We can see it.
You can see it from here. Your car's already parked.
Let's not move our car because we may need it to get the heck out of here after this goes side. Sorry, I'm just thinking to myself. After this goes sideways and everything's on fire, we may need to come and get this car and get out of here. But yeah, we'll close the van, let him change, drive off. Do we ditch him, or are we going to leave him in the van?
Yeah, you're not. So I'll make it this clear. You're not making this delivery that's expected at the pharmaceutical place. And what are you doing with the guy's unconscious body?
Just leave him in the back of the delivery van. It's going to happen. Leave it for a while. It's not.
I look at Bardem and Marconi, and I'm like, all right. And I take some like my old jacket, and I grab it, and I grab his hands, and tie the jacket around his hands, and put it in a certain knot. And then
he has been tranked, so he'll be out for hours.
So
right?
That's fine. We just keep him back here. Yeah. He'll be fine. I look at him. He'll be fine. Okay. He'll sleep it off, but we got to get out of here before he wakes up.
Right. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be out of here before he wakes up, right?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Okay. So where are the three of you riding in the truck? Are you all up front, or two of you in the back, or what's the drill there?
I'm in the back, like no question. Charisma guy, back. When we get there.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I'll
Amelia,
drive for what it's worth.
Yeah, I'll be out the front.
Okay, got it.
I grab one of the boxes. So you just
basically,
one of the boxes in the back, Harrigan. Right? Is there like other boxes in the back of the truck?
It's the beginning of the day, right? We said it was a morning delivery, so there's tons of boxes back here. In fact, you're probably pretty cramped, I would think.
Fair.
This guy's been doing deliveries since 6, but you've got room.
I take a box.
So we could bury him in the back behind the boxes.
You could.
I take a box that's relatively average shoebox size, and kind of open it up, grab my grenades and put it in the box, close the box.
Okay. Throw out all that Amazon.com bubble wrap crap.
Yeah, get rid of all that bubble wrap. Maybe a couple pieces just to keep the grenades from hitting each other.
You still want to send it to them. It's just
that's right. Special delivery. Okay. All right. So tell me, if I narrate too far here, stop me. But otherwise, I just want to make sure that we've got pace. So you leave your car. The DHL truck, guy pulled in the half circle. You guys just keep on trucking without making the delivery. So off you pull with the big diesel truck. So basically you exit this little business park area, cross the road and go onto the Kiskatech campus, right?
Yep.
So there's a security gate that you have to go through, but it's open. It's not like the sort of thing where you have to check in. The guy basically sees the DHL truck coming at the gate. There's an arm that comes down, but it's already up to allow traffic to come and go. It's the beginning part of the day, so employees are arriving and all that good stuff. So again, security is not like crazy tight on the campus generally, right? So you just kind of cruise right on past. He just kind of gives you one of these, right? you know that from the manifest you've got that there's a couple places that you're probably supposed to deliver. And since it is a campus of about 6 buildings, there's probably 2 spots that you are supposed to go. One is the headquarters, and one is probably more like the maintenance facility for some of the equipment that they run here, some of their high tech equipment where they fix it and they maintain it and that sort of thing. Sort of more like a machine shop type place. Which place do you go with the truck? Big parking lot, by the way, lots of cars, so people are already at work. You can see indeed in the parking lot there are these big street lights with cameras on them. So the place is pretty highly surveilled. You'll definitely say that. Where do you go?
I'm thinking maintenance. Amelia, unless you have a better idea.
No, that sounds good.
Okay. Are we on comms? I assume we are on comms.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Frank, how's that fitting?
Fits better than the crap you happen to find. Thank you very much.
All right. They just don't have any sizes in check for, side of beef. Like
ha ha. Do you know where you're going, Bardem, or do you need a map?
I have a map. Okay.
So this is a pretty low building, this maintenance building, not as tall as a lot of the other structures on the campus, and it's a little less, little lower key. I'll say that. So there's not a big grand entrance or anything like that. You basically park in the front. There's a door that you would enter into, and you'd find yourself in sort of the receiving lobby. Right? There's not much fanfare to this place. There's a clerk who would be there, and in fact, tell me what you guys are doing as you park and unroll the back of the truck. How are you now going to make your entrance to this place?
I'm thinking to grab a couple of parcels, go over to the clerk or whatever, and just sort of say, this one's for you, this one we've got to deliver in person.
All right.
See if they'd swallow that.
Yeah.
There needs to be a reason for all 3 of us to go. So is there something big we can carry that, would make sense?
You could certainly just do a lot of different packages, right?
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Just start unloading the truck. Just like everything in the back.
Employees.
Right in the back of the truck. Just unloading every box in the truck onto their dock.
Wait.
Just let them sort it all through. Like, here you go. I don't know where this all goes.
And check, I'm going to be like under my breath complaining about having to have 2 trainees at the same time or whatever. I'll let Amelia go do her thing, but like when we're falling behind, I'm just going to be acting like, oh shit, a whole day of this. I got to just to see if I can seal the deal for her.
Okay. So as you make your way into the lobby,
any surveillance cameras in the dock?
Go ahead.
Any surveillance cameras in the dock?
There are.
Okay.
You're on camera like right now. The whole campus appears to be pretty highly cameraed. So the 3 of you get out. You're heading inside. Wayne, I'd like you to make the die of fate roll to tell me how cooperative the clerk is going to be. Roll high if you want to have her be cooperative. Look at that. All right. It's her first day on the job. So as you walk in, she looks up and she looks a little startled at first because, here comes a DHL employee with a stack of boxes. Then one of you has a dolly and the other one has another stack of boxes as well. She's just like, you're a little early. Normally you come, I was told to expect you around 9. Right over there, she kind of points against the wall where she would expect you to line the boxes up. What do you? I think Amelia, you were going to take the lead there.
Yep, no problem. So we'll start doing that. But it's like these ones we've got to take. They've got to sign in person. Don't worry, happens all the time. I like what you've done with your hair today.
She says, "Thank you." So do you get her to? Do you take the trouble of getting her to sign, or do you just going to kind of skip that part?
Yeah, well, she'll sign off. I'll say you sign for those ones. The rest we've got to take. So
okay, so she gives you a signature. and says, who are you looking for that you have to deliver in person?
That was a good question.
I can't understand her, so
Sure.
I'm just kind of standing there.
What is the most
true.
common name? I speak Czech, so what? I'm just gonna go for whatever the Smith name is. Okay.
I thought maybe some of the names in that guy's phone, we can just rattle off some of them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. So you rattle off several, and she's like, "Oh, well, he's not in this building. That man is on vacation. He's here. Yes, down the hall." She kind of goes behind her desk, opens the door, and it's the mother lode. Right in, you can go right into the facility from here. You can go into where there's a break room, there's lockers for employees, there's offices, and then there's a entrance to more like the machine shop type of thing.
All right.
Grazie.
Thank you very much.
Grazie.
Okay.
Danke. Grazie.
Right. Merci.
Danke. Grazie. Spasiba.
Merci buckets.
All right, the three of you are inside the facility.
Yep.
I imagine at least you're all carrying maybe one box now. Right?
Yeah. We want to get to the stairs to get to the underground tunnels, which, we saw the plans. We've got a pretty good idea how to get to from there. Can we studied it?
You do. In fact, right where to go to, right? Because Sean, you may have missed that part as well. You guys actually got a schematic of the floor plan of the place at some point. So you walk straight for, this is probably a 3-story building. So there's a staircase very close to where she let you through, but to go down. So sure enough, the handle is open, and you open it up, and there's a set of stairs going up and down. You guys all go into the stairway. It's a concrete stairwell. The type. It smells bad. Lots of echoing as your feet go down the stairs. You go down a surprisingly, deep level. You go down one level to like the basement of the area, which is not where you want to go. And then from there, it feels like the stairs probably go down maybe another 50 feet or something like that. They go way down. Yep, they go several floors before there's another door. No one's in here. And when you come down to the bottom, you find a steel security door with a security pad on it, and a badge reader as well.
Yeah, try the badge first.
Okay, so you bring out the badge. You're gonna swipe it. Yeah, die a fate roll to see Frank. Okay, so Frank, go ahead.
Sean's turn.
I grab Amelia's hand quick and I go, "You do know we just killed this guy a few days ago."
That was yesterday.
Yesterday. What day is it anyway? Whatever.
Tuesday.
Chances are this thing may not work. And if it does, they're going to know that so let me just get this straight. He may be dead. And if they know he's dead and his badge works here, what's that going to look like? I'll let you think about that as I go to the other building to offer a distraction.
Diversion. Yep.
Good luck. Keep in touch.
So Frank, you go back up the stairs.
Yeah, I make myself go through the tunnels to another building.
Well, okay, so here's the I'll make sure we understand. You're outside the tunnels right now. You're trying to get through the security door, but if you do, then you can do what you're suggesting, which is they go one way towards the secure building, and you can go another way in the tunnels.
Gotcha.
Or you could go back up outside and try to do it. Try to do this whole deception again.
I'll do that. I'll go outside. Like what they're doing, they're not going to care. Like I'm going to go, and if they need a distraction, I'm going to go off and create a distraction. I'll just be hanging tight. I'll go to another building. I'll hang out outside, lost, walking around with packages.
Well, I would also suggest that since you're in this building, which is not that close to the secure building, you could set the distractions here. You're already in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Right.
All right.
And we got boxes.
Yep. You could plant them in some of the boxes, et cetera. Okay, so we'll say Frank is busy doing that, right?
So is this a keypad or something? Or
it is a combination keypad, but it has a swipe as well.
All right, so I'm going to do something to the keypad that lets me know what buttons to press more often than the other ones. Like,
do you have a gadget
I have to use,
do that, or are you going to try to analyze it?
I've got a burglar kit. Does that help?
It does.
Surveillance
Absolutely
kit,
does.
operative kit.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a little little cracker that you attach.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a straight up security roll. So beat a 4 on a d6 and add your
+1.
Yep, add your +1 and add any stat that makes sense as well. Probably intelligence or wisdom if you have one of those.
Wisdom. So
if
6
there's a
total.
camera, I'm going to stand in front of the camera so while he's working, it won't pick up what he's doing. Okay.
And there is a camera. Okay. But Amelia, yeah, this is easy as pie. Cracks it. You hear the magnetic lock just go ka-chink in the door. It's got one of those big steel handles. Grab that big steel door. You open it up, comes open. Bit of a draft, bit of a musty smell. You can tell it's direct access to the underground area.
I'll just say we're in.
All right.
Is there another keypad to get out?
There is. Yep, there is on the other side. Yep.
Okay.
Is there an option on the outside to turn it off for 6 hours or put it in maintenance mode or something?
If you guys tried to hack it, you could do that.
Okay. I guess I will. What if we just put a piece of tape over the bolt lock?
Yep. So let me know where do you guys both go through?
Yeah. We definitely walk through because otherwise it'll look too weird.
Okay. You certainly could just prop the door. You could block the bolt somehow. This is not the world's most sophisticated security system right here.
Let's just take a.
I got to think Marconi's got a few tricks up her sleeve, having probably run into these a few times.
Yeah. I'm just saying, put a piece of,
just a wedge under the door.
You know what? Let's just blow past this. Let's say it's because Marconi has hacked it once, she can hack it again. She knows how to get through. She knows how to get through this door.
All right.
So the two of you go through. Sure enough, it's a probably 10 feet wide, probably about an 8-foot ceiling, musty, big enough to kind of drive like a cart through, but not a full vehicle. So it's the kind of place where you can tell they take equipment back and forth. And they're able to move in bad weather and all that kind of stuff, right? There's no one in here. It's lit. It's concrete, right? It's lit about every 20 or 30 feet by an LED light. And every probably 100 feet or so, especially at intersections, there are little bulb cameras, so you can't tell what direction the camera's pointing. If you've seen those at airports and that sort of thing, it's like a little half a sphere type of thing in the ceiling. But what you guys know which way to go. So you just buzz right towards where you think you want to go.
Yeah. And I think we need to if we can stop in those dark zones and just keep, look around to make sure nothing looks too weird.
Okay. Amelia, throw me a die of fate to see if you meet anybody on your way. 4, 5, or 6, you're in the clear.
5.
Uh-huh. All right. So there are a couple of moments when you hear other people coming and you kind of, you either keep to yourself or you act like you belong, that type of thing. But the tunnels appear to be not that well used, right? So only a few people are kind of going back and forth with them, and you're able to avoid them as you crawl through past the middle of the campus over to that one side I'm going to say it's in the northeast where the secure building is. So as you're approaching that, Frank, what specifically do you want to be doing? Are you okay being left just planting your devices while we resolve the other scene? Or is there something that you wanted to get done as well?
So my goal is to not be on camera and create a home movie of me planting grenades and C4 throughout the hallways of this nice business building. So, which may be tricky. I don't know if that's even possible. But if I find a good place and I can't get out of the camera vision, then maybe it just goes super, super dark and I have to work in the dark.
Okay. I think that sounds like a classic sort of wisdom action roll to see if you can be perceptive enough and wise enough to know how to avoid these things. So beat a 4. 4 or better.
I did get a 6.
Okay. So you're working efficiently, and you definitely find, even though there's a lot of cameras in here, you find lots of blind spots, right? So you can easily either work beneath the camera or find a bathroom that has no camera in it for legal reasons and all that good stuff, right?
Right. The bathroom
so
would probably
tell me
be
what
ideal.
type of charges you're setting.
Yeah, the bathroom would be ideal.
Yep. Tell me.
Go ahead.
tell me what type of charges are you laying? Are these are these big enough to hurt people? Are they like little grenades, or are they like larger explosions?
So I would say that they're enough to set off alarms if they're in place and fire suppression systems, but I'm not here to cave in a tunnel or, raise a building. Like, it's enough to, and I don't, if I'm in the bathroom, if there's, if I notice on the way that there's a, occupied sign or something, like a maintenance person would put outside of the bathroom, do not enter, cleaning, crew.
Yep,
then I would want to try to do that and then just go in there. Hopefully nobody comes in, get into a stall, set some things. If there's a drop ceiling, probably plop it up in there and then kind of hang loose. And then if if something happens, I get the, green light from Bardem or Marconi, then I would leave, set probably a timer before I left, enough time to get me out of there, and then have it go off. My goal is not to kill 20 people. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's just to get people's attention, get security to go, what the hell is that? And have them kind of go towards that area.
And it'll probably set off fire alarms and sprinklers, right?
Absolutely. In which case, hopefully everybody flees the buildings because there's a fire going on or something along those lines. So,
yep. Guys, I got a quick dog thing I got to do, but I'll be back in about 2 minutes. So if we can just take a short break, or you can wait. I'll just be right back.
We can take a break.
1 sec. Sorry about that.
Take a break.
Okay. We're back. Heading for our conclusion here. So quickly, Frank, I want you to do one thing for me. So you've described, I think, a pretty good approach to setting these things so they won't hurt people and you also won't be seen, etc. But there's always a chance that someone can kind of come across you while you're doing it, right? So while you're in the bathroom doing one of these things, before you put up the "Do Not Enter" sign, roll me a d6. This is basically how well you have placed things. So it's probably intelligence, you think?
Ooh.
Frank's got a 0.
I've got some tactics, I think, to help me with this.
Well, you've got demolition skill as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go. So add +1 for that. So try to beat a 4.
I rolled a 7.
So I have 7. All right. So a couple of times you're almost interrupted by people, but it'll look a little weird. There's a DHL guy doing this, but you're either able to go into the stall and pretend you're just doing your business, or you're basically able to avoid trouble while you're setting these things up. Zooming back downstairs to the tunnels, Amelia and Emanuel, you turn the last corner, and sure enough, remember, Amelia, you didn't have great intel on exactly what was at this checkpoint, and damn it, there are 2 guys down there at this checkpoint. So it looks like there's an X-ray machine, like I shouldn't say X-ray, there's a metal detector sort of thing, and there's 2 guys who are in full-on urban camo with AK-47s. They look like soldiers almost. And they both just kind of, are looking down at you as you guys are in the corridor looking down at them. They don't make any sudden moves or anything, but they definitely appear to be posted there.
Well, since we knew the checkpoint was coming, I'm thinking got the gun underneath the parcel I'm carrying.
Yep.
So I'm just like, this is for you guys. I do have a silencer on.
Emanuel, are you part of this plan?
Well, I was going to talk to them, but I guess that's moot now. So,
well, I'm not the type of GM that forces you to,
No.
Tell me what your approach is. Amelia, you're marching down there first, from the sounds of it. But go ahead, Wayne.
Well, okay. So I'm walking down there by myself now, or is he? We're all walking down there together.
You guys tell me. Let's put it this way. You've got about 50 feet to cover. By the time they would see you before you got up to them. So tell me what you're doing across that 50 feet.
So before we turn the corner, I would have got my gun out and had it underneath things. Right. So he would have known,
Okay, I was like, let me talk to them first. If it goes south, you know what to do.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna walk up there, and But here's my plan. Here's my intent is one, see if they will, see if I could at least lower their temperature a little bit, if that doesn't look like it's happening just by talking with them, if they're, then my plan is to see if I can BS them into thinking that this is actually a security check, this is part of a drill to see if they're on their game.
Okay.
You see where I'm going? Okay.
I do. I do.
All right. And then I'm going to try to interrogate them as to what they would normally have done, if they found out that there was something unusual. Because I want to see if they're alarm buttons where they are. I'm actually that's kind of what I was going after.
Got it. All right. So let's play that a bit. But by the time you guys cross about half the distance and you get 20, 25 feet from them, one of them comes forward. He doesn't point his rifle at you. He's got a rifle on a sling around his neck, but he does hold up his hand and say, "Stop. I think you're lost. Where do you think you're going?"
I'll look at my clipboard and I'll say, we're headed to, I'll give the name of the guy we used earlier. The name of the person we used earlier that's supposed to be in the building.
Yep. Gotcha.
Okay.
Do you have authorization for that? We've been told nothing about this. He turns to the other guy. There's a little table there where these guys can sit at the table while there's nobody, coming and going to the checkpoint. Guy has a laptop. He kind of presses a few buttons and he shakes his head. The guy says, "There's no delivery today." What are you guys doing down here?
I'll hold the notebook up again and just see if is the guy going to come closer to me.
He looks. He kind of cocks his head and he goes like this.
All right, I'll walk down towards him.
Amelia, do you go as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the two of you get within 5 feet of the guy. He's like looking at the list like, "What? I have been told nothing about this."
Bang bang.
Why are you even down?
Oh.
Okay, this time I'm gonna go with Blake's instincts. Oh my! All right, so let's look at your sheet for a second here, Amelia. You've got the VP9 pistol, which allows you to shoot twice. You've got strike from hiding, which this certainly is, right? And your dexterity helps as well. His armor class. He's not wearing armor, so he's got fatigues on, but his armor class is 10. So you've got a grand total of what, +3 to hit him?
Yeah.
Do that, and then it's double damage as well.
17 on the dice.
Okay. So roll the damage before you roll your second shot, because you could potentially get the second guy too.
2 doubled is 4. So.
Okay, so you shoot this guy in the chest, like right up, when he's like, "I don't want to," he kind of collapses against the side of the wall. The guy behind him is like, "What the?" He's about to bring his rifle to bear, but you have a second shot here, Amelia.
Yep. Only 11 on the dice, +1 for dex.
That's a hit.
You got +2. Your base +2 as well.
That was 5 damage. It's much better.
You can double that one as well.
10. So he's
good lord.
That's a headshot. So the first guy is still alive, but he's on the ground. The other guy just slumps down.
Step forward and bang head. Yep.
So the guy that's on the.
How do you react to this?
We go with the flow.
If only Frank could have seen this, he'd be proud.
Yeah, I know. So the guy that's on the ground.
Yep.
I'm just gonna reach back and pull out my knife, put my hand over his throat, and gack him.
Finish him.
Right.
All right. These guys are brutal. All right. In a span of seconds, you've got 2 dead guards and a large pool of blood forming here. And as you look up, there's a camera, and the camera has a little red light, and you hear dang. Dang, 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 dang. Frank, you hear it too.
Distraction time.
So before you hear distraction time, actually, I should say, Frank, what you hear is that noise, but it's far away. It's like not your building, right? It's across the campus, like. So the lights change in the tunnel. You guys radio. I want the distraction. What's the overall plan here?
Grab the laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pop the. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the camera out so they can't see what else we're doing.
Yep.
And grab whatever. This guy has like a security swipe card. I'll grab that too.
They both do. Yep.
All right, and let's go through the checkpoint because we've got to get into the facility.
Okay, got it. And Frank, what are you doing while they do that?
I
Flush.
take off my DHL jacket, throw it in the stall, and throw my DHL hat, throw it in the stall. Look in the mirror in the bathroom. Pull out a little square box, a little rectangular box, put it in my hand, and I start walking out of the bathroom towards where we came in.
Okay, so you're going to exit the building with the intention of eventually setting off the charges, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the door behind the guard post, right? The checkpoint, it's right there. A quick, do you swipe their cards?
Yeah.
Blake, you're cool with that?
Yeah.
Yep. Swipe. Light goes green on the panel. Door opens up, and it actually opens onto a catwalk kind of thing that is overlooking a very large room that looks like it's been used to build like either heavy equipment or very intense machinery. Lots of sort of manufacturing has gone on in here. And as you come, go ahead.
I was going to say, hold the phone out and just hold the button down. So I'm just going to take a huge pile of, photographs. Just.
Yep. It definitely looks like a production facility that was, is meant to build something. And in the middle of the room, in fact, there's this equipment that's all sort of assembled around kind of a center stage area where it looks like something was being worked on. The alarms are going off. There's no one in this facility. It looks like the facility was quiet. Like there was no one in here when you guys came through. Catwalk goes all the way around the room. It's probably about 20 feet off of the manufacturing floor. And there are staircases at multiple places where you could get down into it. But at least for the moment, the two of you are alone, but there is an alarm going off that you can hear. I'll say one last thing. There looks like there's like a control room. It's open air. It's more like a set of control screens and panels, almost like a little operations center that kind of overlooks this center stage where most of the manufacturing happens, like a control panel. All right,
I'm going to hand one of the AKs.
Any room in Half-Life,
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't hand one of the AKs to Amelia. I'll take the other one.
Okay.
I think let's go to the control room because we want data first.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Amelia, you're cool with that?
Yeah, I'll let him take the lead, and I'll just sort of go.
I'm popping cameras whenever I see him. Okay.
With your silencer, with your silence pistol.
I don't care about silencer anymore. I don't care about silence at this point.
Well, you've only got
alarm going off, right?
If you've got the Kalashnikov, are you going to use ammo you're going to waste that ammo to pop cameras?
No, I'll shoot it with the pistol. Sure.
You know how loud a Kalashnikov is? I don't think you'd use .5.
Yeah.
In any case, I got you what you're saying. You're basically, as you go, you're taking out the cameras.
Right.
Frank, you get outside. You can see people coming out of some buildings are looking towards this building that's in the remote, the far corner of the campus. You see a number of the lesser armed security guys, the guys who have sidearms, are kind of rushing that way, right? So something's going on down there.
So I hit it.
Okay.
And
few windows blow out, and
oops, a little too powerful, but hopefully somebody gets it. And then I make my way to the DHL van.
Okay. All right. You head back for the van. Guys, you get to this control panel set up, which has all these screens. And from here, you have you can tell it's kind of the master view of everything that was done here, right? You have a great sort of vantage point to look down. It looks like whatever was built here is gone. So it looks like you can tell there was an assembly. There are some pieces left behind, some cables that are unhooked. And this is why the place is vacant at this point, is that whatever was being done, they're done with it. And the work is complete. The computers certainly look like they will have tons of information about what this was. So what's your approach?
Can I pull drives?
There are no drives present. This is a terminal. These are terminal screens.
All right.
USB slots or something? Or?
Yeah. Is there something I could plug in to see if I can get data from here?
Let's do this. Roll me a d6, die of fate. Again, we're going to test the value of the IT team to see if they've turned off the USB ports for this sort of thing. 4, 5, or 6, you can get in, and 1, 2, and 3, you can't. You'll have to use a gadget or something like that.
Okay. 4.
You stick a USB drive in there, and you know what? You do have to hack to log in, though. So your stick is in the. But this is not strangely because you're behind the firewalls and closed doors, and this system is practically not even on the network, right? So for that reason, it's actually a little bit less secure. So make a regular hacking roll with either intelligence or wisdom, right?
So I'll do wisdom, and I get +1 for
hacking. Be the
hacking,
4,
right? So, and I rolled a 1, which becomes a 3.
Okay, so that's a failure. But what it means is it just takes you a little bit of extra time. So what Amelia sees is doors on the other side of the room come open, and in come 2 guys in fatigues that look like the guys that you just killed. Come in, and you see them point at you. Oh, stop right there! They shout and check. What are you doing? One of them takes up a firing position on the railing of the of the catwalk that he's on. So I'm going to want initiative rolls from the 2 of you. Emanuel, you're still, you're waiting to get in. Basically, you can get in, but it's just not going to be quite yet.
4.
Okay, got a 4. Emanuel,
6.
Okay, they act on 1, so the 2 of you get to go first. So what do you do?
So, is there like traits or anything I could drop on them? Is it that sort of control room where there's any machinery I could?
There's machinery like that, but it's all towards those, crane arms and stuff that was used to lift things, gantries. But it's in the middle of the room. They are on the far side on the catwalk, so there's nothing above them. If you want to try to take up a support somehow, they would fall, right? But you have a rifle and a pistol, so.
I've got the Kalashnikov, so while taking some cover, I'll fire at them.
Okay. So with the automatic weapon rules in this game, if you fire a burst like 5 rounds, I think the weapon fires twice as well. So it has a rate of fire of 2. That'll give you a +2, and it will double the damage, right? So you could either fire at both of them, or you could fire twice at one of them. So go ahead and just do the first one.
I'll fire at both. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 19 plus.
That's a hit. They both have armor class 10. Go ahead and roll.
Sweet.
That is a 1d6 plus 2, I think. Doubled.
5. 5, and so 10.
Okay, and then make your second roll against the other guy.
That was 5 total. Terrible.
Okay. So
gun jam.
Yeah, and Emanuel, I think I should have had you go first, but I sorry about that.
That's fine.
Yeah. So the gun doesn't jam, but there's just this thunder as the AK-47 is just there's sparks and everything else flying. One of those guys drops dead on arrival as soon as he comes into the room. The other has taken cover behind some sort of panel. So he's kind of pinned down.
Frank.
That's right. So Emanuel, what are you doing while she's peppering them with her rifle?
First off, I'm gonna get on our comms and tell Frank we have company in the building. I'm still getting the data. Can't get out yet. May need a pickup.
Yeah, I'm on my way. I'm getting the DHL truck.
DHL panel van for the win.
Delivery.
Okay, so he's the guy's behind the counter. I'm sorry. Yep. Can I act still, or is that my action?
You can. No, you can.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Is there any machinery behind him I could turn on that might startle him, make him pop up?
No, he's basically on this like cat. Well, he just came in the door and then took cover as he was, a hail of bullets. So he's basically just ducked down right on the catwalk. So there's not much, different behind him or anything like that.
Well, while I'm waiting for the date, I'm just going to line up on him. When he pops out again, I'll try to shoot him, I guess. Is that a thing I can do?
Yep. You can take a shot. He's got cover, so it's gonna be a -2.
All right.
But if you fire full auto, you can fire twice, and it's a +2 to each roll. Right.
Okay, so it'll be kind of a wash for that, and then it's just a +2 to my base attack bonus.
Base attack bonus and your dexterity both count for this.
Okay, I don't have one of those. All right, so first roll.
Need a 10.
Ooh, 19. I definitely hit.
Yep. 1d6 +2 multiplied by 2.
So 6, 12 damage.
He's dead. Okay, so the two of you, I do want you to. I don't normally track ammo in this game, but I'm going to do it for these rifles because they're pretty deadly weapons. So Blake, you fired 10 rounds, so you should have 20 out of 30. And Wayne, you fired 5 because you just had to do a short burst to kill the guy.
Okay.
But all hell has broken loose at this point. The two of them are down. You now are logged into the system. And you can attempt to do a download of some data. Is that what you're going to try to do?
Right. I want data on the device itself, and if anything about where it went. And then after that, I would look for anything about Cabal.
Okay. Are you going to look or are you going to grab? You know what I mean? Like, are you like scrolling through folders, or are you like grab data?
No. Yeah, no, I'm pumping as much data as I can as quickly as I can at this rate. I'm just saying if it looks apparent that, when I get in here, if I can see that, then that would be what I would be pulling first. But if I can't, I'll grab data.
Okay. Let's have you make a computer's roll.
Okay.
To see how quickly you can get the data. So let's say it's against a 4.
Okay.
You can add your either intelligence or wisdom.
All right.
And you can add your hacking.
My skill. Right. So +2.
Yep.
And I rolled a 5, so it's a 7.
Excellent.
All right. So Amelia, you are, tensely looking at each of there's probably 4 entrances to this place, right? On multiple sides. And you're kind of keeping look on all of those. And sure enough, the download completes. You've basically, Emanuel, you have found like the project folder for this thing, right?
Sure.
And it actually names a climate change conference in Milan, is what it names.
Sweet. Okay.
But then there's all these project folders that you'll have to sort through later. But you rip that USB drive out. You've got it. You can hear, Amelia. You hear guys coming from the same direction that the other two that the both of you killed. There's more soldiers coming in that direction. And if you want to try to get out of the room before those guys get in here, I want you to both make the equivalent of like an athletics check or a movement check.
If I add dex, then 5.
Add dex, beat a 4.
So 5.
I'm really lucky. I got no modifiers, but I rolled a 4.
All right. So Emanuel, you barely get out as like a half dozen guys pour through that door, shouting, "Stop! Don't move!" And they're kind of fanning out along their side. Picture the catwalk. They're going to have to go this way, then come towards you. You have a decent lead. So the two of you are beating feet past the 2 dead soldiers. Frank, upstairs, this building has this 10-foot fence with razor wire and a truly secure gate in front. Are you trying to plow through it? Are you going to wait outside of it? What's the deal?
Bardem, what's the status?
Okay, are we headed back the way we came? Harrigan?
You could go. You tell me. You're back in the tunnels, right? So you can either use your knowledge of where the tunnels go.
No, we'll come out one of the other buildings because there'll be less guards.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what Amelia says.
All right.
In her rough Australian accent, I love that. Delicate Amelia.
Gotta lay off those, unfiltered cigarettes, all right.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you guys kind of have the run of the place down here, right? It's this tunnel network.
All right, so we'll pick the building that that was outside of the fence. Tell him, describe that building, and so that's what we're going to try to come out.
Right. Should be there.
So
ETA.
you wheel the truck around.
Yeah, ETA, whatever amount of seconds, minutes, whatever. So that's what I
was going to say, like 20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
All right.
Better be there, Bardem.
So you see as you turn the wheel and kind of wheel the truck around, Frank, there's quite a bit of activity in that secure facility now. There are guys in these blue camo, urban camo fatigues that are running into the building from, it's like where'd they all come from kind of thing. Like this is a pretty secure looking facility. But you guys take a tunnel down to this other building you're talking about, swipe the guard's key card, goes right through. It's another one of those stairwells that you come out of. But when you get upstairs to the lobby, you can crack the door a little bit and you see that this building is much more of an office building than the last one. So there are probably 30 people in the lobby. These are glass buildings. So these big transoms, it's actually 2 levels and there's probably about 80 staff in here from this building. They're all looking outside, having their coffees. You can picture what this would be like in a corporate environment, right? Where there's something going down, everybody's wondering what. The whole staff is gathered. So what do these 2 DHL folks do to get through the lobby and out of the building? And as you peek out, here pulls up the truck. There's the DHL.
Let's drop the guns in the stairway.
Okay.
And then we just walk out. If I see a package laying on a desk, I'll just pick it up on my way out the door. And
absolutely, positively must get there overnight.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Beep beep.
All right.
Beep beep, Bardem. Beep beep.
Amelia, you're okay with that?
We see you. We're right on your tail.
Yeah. I've dropped the Kalashnikov in the stairwell. I've got my pistol under the laptop, and I'm just sort of carrying the laptop.
Okay.
And if anyone looks at us, I just say, "Interesting morning."
Yeah.
So when you come out into the lobby, you immediately see there's 2 of these white-shirted security guards, the guys who are the lower level security. So I'd like you both to give me the equivalent of a stealth check to kind of slip unnoticed, not attracting their attention out the front door where they're all looking, right?
Okay.
So it's a 4. You can add dex and you can add any kind of stealth approach. So surely Amelia adds another 1 for her stealth.
Yes, so 3 total.
3 total. And what did you get? What did you get? Okay. So the two of you come out and make your way. You get about halfway across the lobby floor when you hear, "Hey, stop! What were you doing in the tunnels? That's a secure area." And you turn around, and there's a guard with his hand on his gun, and he's he hasn't drawn it, but he's like, "Stop! What are you doing there?"
Is there anybody around us?
There's tons of people in here, but you're not in the middle of a crowd at this point. You guys were trying to sort of skirt them and go right for the front door, right?
Fuck.
We've got
it in check.
I shoot the windows, Harrigan. I shoot the windows.
Okay, so
I shoot the windows.
What do you shoot the windows with?
I try. Well, my pistol. No.
Okay.
No
Is your
silencer.
silencer on, or I'm trying to figure out how much attention you're attracting here.
No silencer. Just boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
So they just shatter if they can. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yep. All right. So the windows just blow out as there's a report of this sidearm over and over again. 4, 5, 6, 7 shots, blowing several windows out as all the candy glass kind of shatters and comes down into the lobby everywhere. People are scattering in front of the guard kind of.
Time to go.
Yeah, I'll forget my witty retort, and I'm just running.
Time to go.
All right. I want you both to make me one final move check. If you fail, the guard's going to get a shot at you.
Sure.
As you get through. So he fights through the crowd, got his firearm out, beat a 4. You can add dex, and you can add any kind of movement. All right. So Emanuel, we'll see what happens to you. And what did you do, Amelia?
Yeah, I ducked down as I'm running, and yeah, I got a 5. So
so you're good. You're good. Okay. So Emanuel, armor class 10, right? There are a couple of shots that go off. They plink against the truck, ping pong, pong, but he misses. He's
awesome.
He's wary of the crowd and all the rest, right?
Right.
But there's mass chaos now at three different facilities, because there's smoke pouring from one where Frank set the charges. There's all the alarms at the other, and now there's this incident here. So there's, people don't know what the hell's going on.
Hey, DHS, we deliver.
Distraction.
We
Delivering distraction. Delivering distraction.
Yep. All right. So the two of you pile back in. Frank, I presume you lay on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
To get out of there? All right.
Yeah.
So there's a great screeching of tires as the truck wheels around, to find yourself faced with that gate from before is now down. And there are two of the white shirted guards like, no, stop. As your truck is.
I'm going to shoot above their heads. Shoot above their heads. I just wanted to dive out the way.
All right. So Sean, make me a driving roll. This is Dex, and add +1 because of Amelia leaning out the side and peppering the area to make the guards scatter.
3.
You got a 3. Okay. You traditionally need a 4. So I'm going to say that there are strips on the ground that you didn't see that they've laid out.
Oh shit.
Yep. Right. Yep. So the two guards dive out of the way. Amelia is filling the air with lead, but as the truck goes blasting through, there's this truck is kind of skating and swerving. It's hard to control, and you're kind of careening, down the lane that leads to the campus. You're off the campus though. But what's your plan now with this 4 flat-tired truck?
Get to our car that we stashed next door.
Try to get to the car.
I'm running for that car.
Like, hey, Marconi, we may need you to get out and push.
Oh my. Okay, so
you've really been. I was like, Amelia, you've really been around Frank a lot. First reaction, pull gun, pull trigger.
All right. So I'm going to say that, the next thing we see is the truck limping up to that other building, the pharmaceutical company. And, behind you, you see smoke. There's lights. There's now police starting to arrive at the campus as well.
Yeah. I'm running for the car. I yell out, I'm driving.
All right. So do the three of you pile in? Do you do anything different with the back of the vehicle? Do you leave the guy there or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, leave the guy there. Leave the door open. Let him get some air.
So this is basically a rapid getaway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's have you all pile into the car. Amelia's behind the wheel. So Amelia, I want you to make me a driving roll to see if you can slip the scene without being made. So
6.
Before I can even describe what you need, a 6 is plenty. So there's probably like a maintenance road, or is a back way to connect to some of these buildings, so you don't have to go quite as front and center back the way you came. So in short order, adrenaline, hearts are pumping, you're all but you make your getaway. All right, so I want to do two things here. It's 11:30 my time. Yeah. We could do 30 more minutes. We can call it good here, or we can try to bring this to a rapid conclusion by me fast forwarding some stuff and in about 30 minutes. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm flexible.
Yeah, I'm flexible, but it depends on what if you want. If there's some other mechanic you want to run through, or
maybe there's like a debrief control or whatever, and they say this is what you found, or
Well, let's do this if you guys don't mind, and we'll try to wrap it up as quick as we can, because there is one piece I'd like to see us get at. So the next time we join these three agents, you're in you're in an Air Force plane, right? And it's a Globe Master, whatever they're called. I forget what the mid level of the Air Force is, but it's the kind where you can drop the back and you can parachute out, right?
I see 130.
What
right.
you are. It's the bigger though. This is a jet aircraft.
C5 Galaxy.
Okay.
Not that big. There's one in the middle. I think it's a C-17. In any case, it doesn't matter. What you've learned is, so the Russians had provided. Let me get the name of this right. The Russians had provided Novichok A230, which is a nerve agent.
Oh crap!
Which is like a tremendously toxic nerve agent. And what appears to be happening is the cabal is trying to wipe out this economic and climate change summit that's happening in Milan. So it's like Paris Accord 2, and it's about to clamp down on big business all over the world. The cabal doesn't like that. So the cabal is trying to get a train that's coming from Prague across the Alps into Milan, trying to get that to carry this bomb. So this plane you're on is chasing after this train that's going through the mountains. So what I want to see each of you do is you're at the back. You're going to have to skydive and land on the train from here. Oh, God. And it's night. So down below in the Alps, you see this train trucking along, and there's a tunnel coming up, and the pilot's like, now or never, you three.
Okay, so which one of you am I hooked to?
Get off me, Bardem. Get off me. Get off. Stop. Get off me.
Correction. Which one of us is we hooked to? I rolled a 1 as well.
Have you guys already rolled your dice?
No, I'll do it.
Okay. So, well, don't roll it. Let me describe it to you. You guys
sorry,
are. Quick
I thought you wanted me to. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're quick off the draw on the dice. So as you jump out the back and parachute down, you are highly trained agents, right? So a parachute jump wouldn't require a roll. A parachute jump from an aircraft traveling 400 knots at low altitude, trying to land on a train, is a little harder. So I'm going to say that is a 5 to hit, and it's the equivalent. Gosh. It's a dex check. It's athletics. It's any of those other things that you need. Failing will not mean that you don't land on a train. It will mean that some unfortunate things happen. I'll say that.
It means I land in front of the train.
Just sleight of hand help because I'm trying to full gravity. No.
Right.
Acrobatics certainly would.
I got nothing.
I rolled a 7.
All right, here we go.
Frank's on it.
Man, I just wish I had the camera now because I won't believe it.
Okay. And what'd you get, Blake?
Including all the bonuses, Amelia got 3. So maybe she tumbled back a couple of cars or something.
Well, okay. So let's get to that. So Frank, you're probably first out the back, right? You're like, let's go. Off Frank goes. He's at night, pulls the chute, perfect landing, right on the middle of the train where you need to go. And then shortly behind him comes Bardem, right?
With a very surprised look on his face.
Emilia comes in hot. She comes in at about 40 miles an hour relative to the speed of the train. Her legs are going. So she hits the ground and is trying to get her chute, to detach right away. But it's dragging her right past you guys. So I want a saving throw from Emilia to try to basically stick this landing where you're going to go right off the edge of the train, right? So there's a saving throw in this game. You look at your saving throw number, and then this is the first save I think I've had you guys make, and you add in this case dexterity. So try to roll that. And if the other two are you kidding me?
Nope.
How about that?
Winning.
Sweet. So she gets right to the edge of the car and finally unbuckles the chute and it pulls it away. And then you're left standing, perfect posture, sort of look like you meant to do that.
Right? Look at Frank.
All right. So the interest of keeping this brief and short, there's a search from car to car, right? You know what you're looking for. You've got a good description from the files that this bomb is pretty big. It's probably in a container that's about 8 feet by 10 type of thing. And if it goes off, sure enough, it will spread this nerve gas in a very localized area. So it won't take out all of Milan, but it will take up the entire sort of train station and the conference that seems to be happening right next door, right? And please don't look up whether that's the case in Milan, because I don't know if it is. But hey,
It is now.
but what we find is going car to car. You guys are equipped. You're loaded for bear for this stuff. And in the final car where you think you're going to find this thing, sure enough, you open the door and there's two guys in there. One of them is this guy with this blonde hair and a ponytail, and he's got a submachine gun. And they're both standing in front of a crate. So you can picture this, this long train car. It looks like it's the type of car that is used for shipping packages and whatnot. So there's no other passengers in here. But the minute you open the door, he's basically raising that gun. So what are the three of you doing? What's your intention? This car is towards the engine of the train. You had to go forward to get to it.
Okay.
I think Frank would take point, so
Yeah. Marconi, you may want to head up and over. I drop down and gonna go go in.
Let me do this. I think I moved you a little too far forward here, and kind of dropped you in the middle of it. Let's say you can look through a window and you can see that this is the car you want. There's two guys in there. So tell me now what your approach is, so you guys have a little bit of planning that you can do.
yep, I'll go up and over so I can come in from behind.
Okay. What about you? Emanuel?
Well, Frank, Frank, you tell me where you want me. My only other thought is I could go up and see if I could detach the car and put the brakes on, that in case something went wrong.
Yeah, you want to hit the engine?
Yeah.
Sounds good. See you in a few minutes.
Okay. All right.
So then
Okay, so two of you are going up and over, and then Frank,
I'm gonna go straight.
are you gonna like kick the door down type of thing? You're kind of trying to come in and surprise them, or what's your intention?
That's what I'm
Flashbangs?
No flashbangs, no grenades, no blown up nerve agents. That's why Bardem doesn't carry heavy weapons. Bardem, you stop the train.
Okay.
All right, so two of you are going on the roof, right?
Correct.
All right, so the two of you climb up, and this is just as the train is now going into the tunnel. So it's this moment of, you lift up and then you're like, whoa! It's very dark in there.
Right.
So it's not that easy to walk from one end to the other. So I want you to both give me like a movement or an athletics type check to get to the other side of the train car in the pitch black.
Natural 6, and I've got
beat a 4.
Yeah, piece of cake.
It's been nice knowing you guys.
A 1. All right. Give me a saving throw, Wayne.
Okay.
A dex saving throw against basically balance and movement and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I made it. My saving throw is a 9, and I rolled a 19.
Okay, so as the train emerges from the tunnel, Amelia, you're just reaching. It's a relatively short tunnel. You're just reaching the other end of the car, and you're dropping down. And on top of the train, we don't see anybody. But then the camera pans a bit, and you're you're hanging on with your feet dangling. So you're on the edge of the train. Frank, are you waiting?
No, I'm going forward to basically engage these guys.
Okay, so give me a strength roll. Beat a 4, and this is to see if you can surprise them, if you can come in kind of violently and quickly enough to catch them off guard.
No.
All right, so
would he get a bonus because there's someone distracting them hanging on the side of the train?
Still no.
Okay, yeah, +1 for legs that are hanging.
Still no.
Hanging down.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I've got a 3.
So Frank, it takes
3 more to get.
Yeah. takes a couple of kicks to get it open, and by the time you do that, they can tell someone's coming. And there's these two guys have taken up positions behind some of the other crates in here, and are pointing their weapons down your way as well. So I want initiative from you. D6 plus your dex.
6.
4.
Yeah, let's get it for everybody. Actually, go ahead, Wayne.
Oh, well, I'm on a roll. Another 1.
Guy's awesome.
Frank 6. Amelia, you got a 4. So Frank, they also got 6.
Fantastic.
So let's do. Is there going to be an exchange of gunfire here? Is that what's going to happen?
I think so. I think that's what we're going to do.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first, but this is simultaneous. So
Sure.
one of these guys has a pistol he's going to fire. The other has a submachine gun he's going to fire at you.
Do I have my carbine on this? Maybe the special.
Yeah, if you certainly could. Yeah, in the back of the plane, I was picturing there was a gear up moment, right?
Sure. All right.
So they're both behind cover. So that's a -2 to hit.
Sure.
Both of them have vests on.
Oh.
So that makes you need a 14 to hit these guys.
All right.
Oh,
I rolled a 19, natural.
Okay, and let's do this.
So -2,
these guys are
17.
not level.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, these guys are not level 1. So I think you get. Is it 1 extra attack? Is that how it reads?
I do get 2 extra attacks per round, 5 extra versus fodder.
So against these guys, you get 3 attacks basically.
Okay. So there's 1. Pew pew.
So yeah, who are you shooting at? The guy with the ponytail who's clearly in charge?
I don't like the guy with the ponytail. Is just he irks the shit out of me just with his ponytail.
Turn your head for a second, Sean. Okay.
What are you trying to say, man?
Yeah.
is this ponytail presumptive? Is it?
That's right. So, so you've got this bullpup assault rifle, a Tavor that you carry, full auto, I presume.
Oh yeah.
So that is +2 to hit, and that is double damage. So 1d6 +2, doubled.
8, 16 damage.
16 damage. Wow.
Bam.
Okay. All right. So you shred the box he's hiding behind. Several bullets tear through his body. He just kind of falls backwards. And you have a bunch of other attacks where you can keep spraying if you want to.
Pew, pew, pew,
Don't
pew.
roll a 1, by the way, since the
rolled a
nerve
1.
gas is in there.
I rolled a 1. I shit you not. I rolled a 1. God damn it. Look at this.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. You probably can't even
Better-
see it from there. But yeah, it's a 1.
Better here than there.
Nice.
Pew, pew.
All right. So this will be interesting. Roll me a die of fate. This is actually to see if you set the bomb off,
Right.
not the nerve gas. I'll tell you why in a minute. So don't roll it yet.
No.
So a 1, 2, or a 3, you're going to blow up a train car. This is
Okay.
this is going to be a
I could do
pretty
this.
sizable explosion.
I could do this.
Yep.
You may want to. I might
4, 5, or
camera.
6.
See if I get the. Here we go.
4, 5, or 6.
Yeah, I want this on camera.
Yeah,
so you
right,
see.
right here. All right.
Yep. 4, 5, or 6. You can hit the bomb, but it's not going to go off.
That's a 2.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Okay. I would like from all 3 of you a dexterity. You know what? What kind of save would this be? More like Constitution, like concussion, blast. It's that sort of thing,
Okay.
right?
All right.
I think I'm just coming in the door and I go, yeah, and then it's
Yes, that's right. Didn't Sean say just 2 minutes ago he didn't bring heavy weapons because of collateral damage? Didn't he say that?
Yeah, that was So if I survive this, I'll be reminding his character of that. But whatever.
As soon as he saw the 2 guys with guns, he's like, I think I have my rifle.
I got 11, which is right on.
Okay, right on. And then what about the other 2 of you?
Sean.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was I supposed to roll?
All three of you need to make the equivalent of like a Constitution saving throw.
Shoot balls. 16. So I think, yeah, I made it.
Success.
Yeah.
And
I got
Amelia, you made
15.
it. You all
Yeah.
made it. Okay. All right. So as the train, is going along the tracks here, there's this bright orange ball of flame in the middle of the car, where the bomb goes off, and you're all blown in different directions, right? Frank, you're blown back into the car behind you. I think
Am I blown off of the car?
I think Emanuel's going to be
That's not
blown.
more appropriate.
Is going to be blown off the car, and Amelia's blown backwards. No, I don't think anyone's going to be killed. You each take 7 points of damage.
Whoa.
So you
Almost.
tell me.
Wow. Yep.
Got 3 hit points left.
I'm good.
But
Wait a minute. What do I take for hitting the ground?
well, yeah. So Emmanuel, you're going to have to make another saving throw here to see if you're falling. Sea Alps. It is summer though, so there's not so much snow.
Yeah.
But let's put it this way. Let's make this save either you hit the ground and are going to be in traction for 6 months, or you hit the ground, you're not going to get up again. One or the other.
All right.
So if you make the save, and what are we going to do with the saving throw? Probably what? Dexterity? You can
That's fine.
Angle your body the right way.
I made it. It's a 12. Can you actually see that?
Sweet. All right. So if this gang ever rides again, we'll just have to visit you in the hospital. So train car is going along. There's this bright plume of an explosion, blows all the glass out, blows the roof off, blows Amelia and Frank back. And then this hurtling body comes past the camera. Emanuel. And Emanuel does like a Homer Simpson, right? Down the mountainside.
In
so
4 languages.
That's right. So flaming remains of the car. So the good news about the nerve agent, and this is true, I researched this last night, it comes in 2 compounds, and you have to combine them the right way for it to become effective. So the compounds had not yet been combined. So you've got an explosion that's going to, be very destructive, but you have not released the nerve gas across Switzerland. So that's good. All right. So let's do a bit of a wrap up. Let's say it's a week later. I want to see what each of you are doing as you've foiled the efforts here of the cabal to nuke this summit. Let's start with Amelia. A week later, you're off the assignment. You're got a bit of breathing space. What do we see Amelia doing?
Frank's given her shooting lessons.
Very cool. Frank?
You have to hold it. You have to cradle it. Okay. And then you're not too tight. And breathe in. All right. I'm probably out in the woods, right? I'm an outdoors guy.
Yep.
And getting away from it all. So probably sitting on the side of a hill or mountain kind of thing, dressed in hiking gear. And he's got a big, huge, like a belt with knife and stuff on there, just looking out, thinking just some peace. And then, of course, other people start like walking by with their cameras and all their hiking gear, and Frank gets all pissed off and perturbed and yells like, "Can't get away from anybody!" And then he walks off and tries to get away from all the people.
Into the brush.
Into the brush. Yeah.
Later that night, is he in front of the mirror with the DHL uniform, trying it on again?
No. He's wearing a DHL hat.
I look good.
He's wearing a DHL hat. It's like,
There you go.
it's all beat up.
Emanuel, as we leave Frank in the woods, what do we see Emanuel doing?
I'm trying to learn how to use one of those SIP interfaces to actually use my computer because I'm still in traction.
Casts all around.
Yes, right.
Okay, fair enough. With that, the headlines that no one ever sees. Bureau 19 saves the world again.
Right.
So that's a wrap. Tell me what you want to do. If you got any, pros or cons, roses or thorns, whatever you want to call them. Did you guys enjoy the session?
Yeah, I did.
Of course. Yeah, it was really good, man. Thanks for running.
Glad to hear it. What'd you think, Blake?
Yeah, that was good. You added a lot of details to every scene, so that was good. That helped us sort of visualize what was happening. Yeah, we all played our roles fairly well. It was good fun. Definitely do that again.
What'd you guys think? Yeah, go ahead.
The rules are pretty easy to get your head around. It's nothing too complex. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Sean and Wayne, about the rules themselves? That's one of the reasons I'm attracted to White Lies. It is that pretty snappy. I probably went overboard with the Die of Fate in this game, but I love it for narrative like complexity. I can abdicate having to make all those GM decisions. Right? Are you seen or not? I don't know. Are you seen?
Right.
Let's find out. What do you guys think?
Yeah, with the rules later,
Sean, go ahead.
with the rules later system, it's nice to just be able to kind of roll with it and not get the nice thing about it is there isn't a lot of strange subsystems. So you can just kind of roll a D6, you modify it here or there and let it fall where it may. So I like that. And then even with prep, you don't, it makes things a bit smoother and quicker, I think.
For sure. What'd you think, Wayne?
Oh, I liked it quite a lot. I think I think always having to roll high is good. I play and run some OSR games, and that is when you're trying to teach it again to folks. That is one of the stumbling blocks. Am I rolling low now, or do I want to roll high now? Because there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Right. And this is just always roll high, even with the D6, which is really good. And I may be unusual, but I don't like skills. I don't like, especially the more skills there are in a game, the less I like it. I prefer something like this. It's like, you are an investigator.
Right.
Do investigate stuff. I mean,
and you get +1 when you investigate stuff. It's more like professional based. Yeah.
I just prefer that. Because otherwise it's a lot of subsystems that rarely get used. And so, this was all really good.
How do OSC skills work? Are they roll under?
Well, there are no skills.
Okay. It's an ability. The advanced version there are, right?
It's an ability check, and it's a roll under your ability.
I guess I didn't mean skill. I guess I meant like a check. Right. So the reason why I ask, I've had the exact same experience as you. I tried to teach my kids Beyond the Wall. Beyond the Wall is based on kind of BX, so same DNA, same overall DNA, and they're like, so combat's higher, and if I want to like build a fort in the woods, it's lower, and I'm like, okay, and then like, what's armor class? What does that mean? I'm like, what does a hit point mean? I'm like,
right.
So no. I'm all about games like the Black Hack, which is like either everybody roll under for everything, or white box. It's all roll over. I'm like, I like the white box. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is good. I mean, in OSC, you still have like all those crazy thief skills, which are
terrible, man.
Problematic for me. When I'm play testing, I try to play, just straight. When I'm not play testing, I usually just let people make dex rolls checks. Or strength checks or wisdom checks and just move along. But for one thing, it makes all the go ahead.
So in terms of movies and stuff, this reminded me of Mission Impossible the most. Mm-hmm. Just it's sort of heroic, but not ridiculous heroic. It's definitely there.
Yep. Well, good. That's what I was shooting for. There was a scene. I worked on this for hours last night, trying to figure out a way to kind of factor this in. I couldn't do it, so I'll do it in the future at some point. But I want a scene. If you guys remember Moonraker, I want a scene where you're on a Learjet, and the villain has either killed someone or taken a case and jumps out with the only parachute. So you have to jump out of the plane and have a chase midair. That's what I want, and catch up to them, because would have been great. But
I mean, I think you did an excellent job. The game seems fine. This is personal, and it affects OSC and a lot of other things, is I really like non-binary skill checks. I like that kind of, you succeed, you fail, or you fail with some, or you succeed with some kind of, but you can still do that in this. And I really like I'd say this, but I had 10 hit points. Every time we were into combat, I was like, oh crap, I don't want to get a shot. I like that.
Yeah. And you're 5th level with 10 hit points.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. Cool with that.
Yeah. I like the way the game scales at higher levels where you don't have big bags of hit points. Even the Eliminator had like 16, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, a sniper rifle does 2d6, and if you get caught with your pants down, you saw what Sean did at the end. That guy was tough, and you 16 damage, you just killed him. Yep. Just like that.
Well, when we were in the control room, I was expecting us to get pinned down and Frank to just have to come in and just blam, 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 blam.
Yeah.
Save our asses, but we didn't.
Yep. I would have liked to have lingered a little bit more on a couple of those scenes, and especially at the end. But I wanted to try to kind of complete the story, right? Keep the pace up. So I kind of loved the whole DHL thing, and Wayne, that all came from your idea of I'll go get the uniforms and everything. I love that. I love the fight in the alley and Frank with the motorcycle guys. It was all.
That was a great dichotomy there. Here I am, like getting my butt kicked by a bunch of schmoes, and and the professional is out there,
Yep. Yeah, it was good stuff.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you all for playing. Sean, we got another one in the bag for the BS roundtable, so that's good.
Thanks for running, man. Thanks for Blake and Wayne for playing. Much appreciated. So if you guys...
Oh, it was good fun.
Yeah, pick up White Lies from DWD Studios. It's a fun game. And it's free on drive-through. Like, it doesn't cost anything, the free PDF for the home.
Right.
It's like, I don't know, 130 pages. There it is. So...
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So we'll sign off on stream. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Brett and I stream on Monday nights at 8 p.m. if you like tabletop RPGs. The guys here sometimes stop by and partake, or they'll write in and we'll read what they have to say about some of the topics we've covered. And so thanks for everybody tuning in. If you see this on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe. So otherwise, we'll talk to you later.